that is going to be the Kindred locking down the Drake as now Doran, decent position, double circles, double Gallios, everyone's in the sky, but it's on that goes down now into the back lane, goes Bin, Elk's going to join in the supercharger for all of that value, they take down Viper, and the Lambs respite buys all.
They cut off the best part of the freak call.
In honor of Freak. 1, 2, 3.
The
I hope he's watching. Yeah, that was an amazing play. Which one do you think should
It's
win?
got to be the Quadra kill. It's not close. It's got to be that.
Double Gallios just looks cool, but yeah.
I think it did win, so that's great. Of course,
It's
keep your eye out
iconic.
for some more iconic plays.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Up versus Uzi's Vayne flank in the next round, rather. So our bracket is filling out. So let's see who takes it in the end. And before we jump into today's games, I do want to take a step back to see what kind of meta trends we've seen so far at the tournament. So Emily, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, let's
Hola,
talk about the elephant
Bartolone.
of Sion, right? Like, I feel
How we
like
doing?
we've been talking about him. No, I love him. Are
He's
you
just
kidding?
big boned.
Yeah, he can do anything, right? Like, you try to take a range top, no, he's still great in lane swaps. He's great. Frontliner, fits in so many different compositions, really difficult to deal with. That's why we've seen him increasingly banned and not let through.
And I just feel like you can see what the meta trends are just by looking at the top 5. It is about team fighting, it is about scaling, it's all about 5v5. I feel like the tournament has been defined by that. Show up to the objectives, out-team fight your opponents. That is the key to winning games thus far at the tournament.
Yeah, and if you look at, I also want to call out Corki, who I think has kind of
good
become...
morning.
Again, this AD
I'm
that
ready
you can
for
fit
some-
into such a variety of compositions. So however you
I'm ready.
want to team fight, he can do it, right? He can poke, he can get in there, he has really good repositioning tools, just really great stuff, and that's why he's risen in such high priority as well.
Such an all-star comp, and then on the other side of the spectrum, lowest win rate, Kastantic. Yeah, Showmaker is smiling somewhere.
Yeah, he's grinning, like cackling to himself.
Sion is the tank that she's telling you not to worry about. You know? I mean, Cassante has not been looking so good. Just feels like a lot of the nerfs have kind of taken him down quite a bit in the meta. But a lot of this is
Rise
the
win rate is
other
fake,
side
bro.
of what you would expect. It's like Rise and Pantheon. You
I'm
want to play
on
through side
160p
lanes, you
because
want
we
to
don't have
split push, you want to
internet.
be finding these more
Damn.
smaller scale skirmishes. It's less
Brand
about
new
the 5v5,
provider
and I
today.
think we
Clap.
can see again
Okay.
the kind of trend of these kind of compositions just aren't really working as well in a meta that forces you to 5v5, and front to back feels like it's king right now.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday as well. It's cool to see, though. Are you enjoying how the meta plays out in terms of the games, how it translates, or...?
I mean, I love watching like really big team fights. I think a lot of the teams, including some of the teams we're going to talk about today, right, are just really, really great 5v5 teams. So it's been really fun to watch teams either succeed or fail.
Fail. Now, the viewer is winning for sure with these metas,
Yeah.
I think. So let's take a look at the bracket where we end up, because today we'll see MKOI versus TSW in our first match. This is an elimination match, and as said, later on we'll have Genji versus TES for qualification. What are your broad thoughts about the bracket, Emily?
I mean, I think I really am happy to see HLE going through as well. Kind of sad that CFO couldn't pull out that game 2 win, right? Like, there are some pretty egregious throws from them in that game, but I'm also hoping for CFO because I do think they are still a really, really solid team.
Yeah.
So we'll see them in their next matchup.
I was just going to say, super exciting for Europe. First time they've ever made it out of Swiss.
Yeah.
So I do think it's
Thank the stars.
a big moment for Europe to be making out in the 2-1. So maybe they'll even get a better draw in the quarter. So you never know.
For sure. MKOI is still in it for the side of NA. Hunter Thieves is still in it, as well as FlyQuest. We'll see how that 2-2 pool plays out, and we'll see if Team Secret Wales make it there. They have been awesome to watch on and off the Rift, I think, and they're also the youngest roster here.
Yeah, you see our 2 baby whales, both in age, and the fact that Team Secret Wales' academy team is actually called the Baby Whales, that they promoted up for this year in Histo and Dyer. I do want to point out that Poon is starting in the top lane today, and I think, speaking to your earlier team fight angle, this is a team that really loves to draft dive compositions. If they're drafting a 5v5, Poon is a kind of a low eco top laner. If you put him on something like the Ornn or the Sion, he can be a really good frontliner for them.
I just loved how I had this team kind of explained to me in the way that it's like, they're really good at the things that you can't teach. Like when you're talking about mechanics, you're talking about game sense. And they're really rough around the edges of some of the things that you can teach. Like, you know, the macro, the lane assignments, and the objective setups. So I think MKOI has got to be careful about not getting drawn into the chaos that's where I think this team can really thrive.
Yeah, and here we're seeing it, right? From their first match against Cade Stars, when they tried to go in, Vivo K tried to go in, Wales immediately punished
guys,
them.
I'm eating my breakfast quite late.
If you try to contest Wales in a disadvantageous position, those kind of team
Hey, Maro, I
fights are
remember
the
dropping in the
team fights
chat
that
around
they
late
win.
March and saying how your
So
streams were such a
MKOI
big
is
escape
gonna
for me.
have to
At that time, I
careful,
like
maybe
was
not to
truly in a stage, and I thought I was
pulled
dying.
in
Fast
or
for some months,
sucked
then I
into
got
some of
significantly
those,
better. I'm glad you were
some of
there,
those objective fights
and I
they
could
might
lurk
not
and
want to.
watch.
Yeah,
You
feels
don't
a
know
little
the
bit
impact you
like early
made.
game.
Hey, yo.
And well, MKOI has
I'm just
so
happy. I'm
far
just
with
happy
those in the
you
past.
bounced back.
We'll see how that evolves. But talking about Movistar Koi, let's get the player
You know,
perspective because Drake also
life
had
ebbs
a
and
chance to
flows,
catch
you
up
know.
with Supa
That's
in
why
the
we
ride.
gotta hold on to
It's his birthday.
the good times too, you know.
I'm here with none other than Supa ahead of this all-crucial match against
Supa!
Team Secret Wales. But
So I guess we had to.
as much as this match is important, there's something else happening today that I would argue is equally more important and even more historic. Supa, it's your birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. Brother, how you feeling? Weird time to be playing a high-stakes League of Legends match, no?
I mean, since 2022 that I saw Deft winning, I think, quarterfinal in his birthday, I always wanted to play my
I
birthday.
need a spoon.
So I finally
I
got
need a
to
spoon,
it. I
guys.
just
I
need
need
to
a
win
spoon.
one best of 3. Last year I couldn't do it. So I'm really happy.
You've had a really kind of, I would say, an awkward tournament run in the sense that your KT game, you guys had that super dominant early game, but then you had to play G2 and you had to play Fnatic. We haven't really gotten to see what MKOI is about on the international stage outside of that first game. So I'm curious, like, what are the big strengths? What are the big areas where you feel like you guys have leveled up compared to last year as a team, not just you individually, that are going to allow you to kind of shine through today?
I mean, I think in general in Worlds,
This matchup will be close. I don't think it's gonna be that close, honestly. I feel like the matchup is very bad for Team Secret Wales. I think
the most. I think we're still
MKOI and Team Secret Wales are bad at the same thing and are good at the same thing.
The MKOI.
And I think MKOI is a better version of that.
We have MKOI in the name. But I think in general in fighting early game, we improve the most. And I will say that when we take the advantage, we know how to play the game way faster. So I think that's the strong point from KOI.
Now, I know from talking to Melzet last year that you guys, there were some rough scrims coming into Worlds, and it might have boomed you a bit. How are scrims, for the EU fans out there, again, this is only one best of 3. If you win here, you still got another one ahead of you. How much hope can you give us from the world of scrims that this, if you're able to win today, it's just like the first step on this road to getting
Watching
another
Worlds
team
is so
in the
much
top
fun.
8?
I mean, I
So
feel
much
like
more
right
fun
now,
while streaming.
like the confidence and how to play into the Asian improved way more from the last year. So I would say
mate.
it's more like a 50-50. We are fighting into them. They are stomping. Sometimes they even get a stomp. I think it's kind of scream culture, no? When a team stomps you, most of the Asian teams FF and go next. So I think we are going way better. Anyway, I believe that you need to make it in the stage. I think the stage is way different. Everyone plays, we'll say, some more scared, but I like to think that we are going to play without fear. And I think this is what worked into KT in the first match. The rest was just playing into Europe. So
And we're back, baby. Come on now.
We need a T1 in the next round.
Tough
As a
time
last
never
question,
lasts.
we're seeing some drafts in the current meta where you have like
Oh,
one
you have to watch that video. That's so
Galio,
true.
maybe a supportive top laner. It feels like it's all about an 80 carry on like 6 items trying to carry versus the world. If MKOI do ever end up in those situations, how do you feel about that? Like, is that your dream to be the only source of damage on the team, or would you really prefer to have like another carry somewhere on the team?
I mean, it's
Now about damn it. About Demi. Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
GOAT.
I hope you get to pick something spicy today. Maybe Alvaro and Miro get a little bit more time together. So you can spend some solo time there on the
Goat.
Regardless, that's gonna do it for you. Back over you with the deck again. We're gonna have a day.
Thank you very much.
Full circle moment with the birthday comeback. Let's see for him. Now talking about the meta, he's happy about how that evolved. And Azale, I think they can be really happy about how the draw played out for them.
Yeah,
I'm not a
absolutely.
basketball
I mean, it really
dude.
couldn't have gone better. You know, back-to-back European teams into the Secret
I love
Wales.
this video. It's one of my-
This is something
one
where
of my
there's
favorite
not
videos
a
of all
lot of
time.
like easier teams at Worlds. You have to take advantage because, well, obviously if you fail here, you're out. But like, even if you win here, there's going to be so much more difficult teams. So I think it's so important to be able to have a good performance to really be able to show out.
It has to be an absolute confidence win for them
Yeah.
without counting out their opponents, of course. And when it comes to the shared history of the Mad Lions before them and Movistar Koi now, Emily. They've played those teams a lot. There was a tweet from the LCP earlier today that kind of laid it all out, right? Ever since Worlds 2024 in the last year.
Yeah, they basically run the LCP gauntlet
badly,
unwittingly. And I do want to point out again, it was GAM, the top Vietnamese team from last year, who ended up eliminating them from Worlds, right? So we're in kind of a similar situation today. I don't think, even though that GAM team kind of were cobbled together and then grew together, I still don't think Wales, their team fight playstyle is so specific, right? Like they're going in and they're going to out-hands you. I do think MKOI should have the macro advantage there, despite some of the shakiness we've seen out of them at this tournament.
We saw Elyoya there for a second. Now he's the guy that's been there every single time.
Yeah, MKOI's draw has been very, very
he's
easy.
Always made it to Worlds, but
I think if they somehow make it to quarterfinals, I hope it's because their 2-2 draws
and whether that
from
is
hell.
a mental block, whether it is just more difficult competition or practice environments, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm still waiting for that kind of breakthrough moment for Elyoya, where he can really show his class. Because especially when you look regionally, all of the early game from MDK, to me, is about this guy making things happen. Even on farming junglers, he always seems to make an impact in the early levels.
You're still waiting. It's 4 years. It's about to be happening, hopefully. But let's see how our fans have voted in the MasterCard fan predictions of the day. You can vote every single day at MasterCard GG on X. And there we see very happy MKOI fans, of course, FPL fans always. And 70%, it's a European fandom vote, I guess, a little bit more, so we can see that. I don't know if that's fair.
I mean, I do think MKOI should be favored. The big thing, though, like, look at what's most banned against Team Secret Wales, right? You've got Nocturne, Nico, Wukong, Annie, Kaisa. Like, we're going in. Yeah. You know exactly what they do, so don't get drawn into that kind of chaos.
Makes sense. That's great to know for Movistar Koi. A little riddle for you, but I got it from Medic, so if you don't know, it's better, because then he can say it. But there is an unseen connection between some of the players on the Rift today. Does anyone know what it is?
No.
I overheard this, so I'm not going to speak.
They're both
I'm
fishes.
going to leave it for Medic, because it's his point, and I don't want to steal it. But it just goes to show that there's a lot of shared history between so many of these players, and if they want to make history, they have to survive this best of 3 today. So let's see.
Under the sea.
MKOI and TSW.
Under the sea. There was a guy in my YouTube comments yesterday. He said, Yamaro, I love your commentary and your videos, but when you start singing random shit and then repeat it so many times across the video, I can't watch anymore.
The perfect execution from Chovy Genji in the quarterfinals. They were built to win.
And I was like, shit. Consequences of my ADHD. I'm sorry.
만족을 해도 이상하지 않은 성적이라고 생각을 하고 아쉬운 부분도 있겠지만 잘한 게 더 많다고
I get it though. I don't like watching people sing randomly either.
그리고 젠지가 세계 최고의 팀이라는 걸 증명하기보다는 저희가 먼저 세계 최고의 팀의 자리에 서고 그 다음에 증명하겠습니다.
KT making quick work of it here, dismantling TES.
输给 KT 以后，其实也没什么影响。
He specifically timestamped a point in the video. I don't even know what I did it when I was watching it.
일단 잘하는 팀들과 만나게 되고
Well, basically,
가는 관문인데
quad ins, and then I said diddy and diddy and diddy and tin tin diddy and diddy and diddy and tin tin, and I don't know where it came from.
제가 할 말은 딱 한마디입니다.
It's so dumb.
운이 없네요.
Yeah, I can number 1 tourist. Got you. I see you, tourist.
Being 1 loss away from getting eliminated, of course, shouldn't feel good, but I think it's our comfort zone.
For MKOI, the road remains long and the spots are few.
Since our goals and ambitions are to win the whole tournaments, I think this is just the beginning.
Trước khi đặt chân tới đây thì tụi em muốn khao khát được chiến thắng nhiều hơn nữa, bởi vì không những mang lại vinh quang cho Việt Nam mà tụi em mang lại vinh quang cho gia đình, bạn bè, người thân.
KT just bulldozed their way through everyone on Team Secret Wales. The Wilds weren't enough to crush the Mighty Fly.
Tụi em đã không làm tốt trong những ngày qua. Tụi em sẽ chuẩn bị thật tốt để chuẩn bị vào vòng trong.
I think it's important to reflect, and I think if you focus on yourself and what you can improve, it's really easy to stay in the present.
Em luôn luôn muốn mình là niềm tự hào của Việt Nam. Đây là một cơ hội để thế giới nhìn nhận Việt Nam sẽ là một khu vực mạnh, bởi vì tụi em đến đây để chiến thắng.
any team that versus us should see us as a threat. Never had a doubt about my team, and never will.
Bombaklad. All right, Jojo Pyong. Vietnamese language is negative aura? Bro, what are we talking about? Nah, bro. Retract the statement right now, bro. It's one of the coolest fucking languages of all time, bro.
Welcome back to Worlds 2025, where ahead of us lies a day of elation
the YouTube
or
stream is not on for some
elimination
reason.
for MKOI and Team Secret Wales. The
Oh,
question
it is
is,
on.
can MKOI
Aggrieved, I think.
actually be the team that's not from EU here at Worlds 2025? And will Team Secret Wales show us the
I
power they
used the
put
wrong
on
link,
day one
apparently.
with that
My
dominant
bad.
victory versus VKS?
I mean, I'm very excited to see how these two teams are going to face off each other. A lot of early game power across these two squads, and it really does feel like it is going to be fisticuffs from minute one to try and find that lead that can take you to that winning position.
I certainly hope so. I hope we get a lot of action here. You know, these teams very, very high as far as the combined kills per minute rankings. So we do expect some early action as well. We got to see, can the team that even gets the early lead actually finish out the game? Because, you know, that remains to be seen for both of them.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a struggle for these two teams to actually close out with those leads. Combined about 1 kill a minute in the first 14 minutes of their game so far. We'll see how well they can do as we get ready for the first draft of the day. MKOI taking the stage on the blue side, Team Secret Wales over on the red. We're still seeing most of the same draft priority as we've seen at the start of the Worlds. Obviously, now we're moving into Fearless over the last couple of days. We have seen a few
And then you realize in Tana, damn, Katie had an easy draw.
I do think we're starting to see things like the Trundle rise up a little bit in priority, though, because especially if you start to see like Sion, very strong in the top lane. All of like the things like Jarvan and stuff that want to try and dive into you. When you can steal away all those stats, it suddenly makes these dive compositions significantly less terrifying.
And that may be one reason that Team Secret Wales have put in Pun, their tank top lane champion. You know, he plays a lot of Sion. He plays a lot of other tanks as well, you know, with a sprinkling of other champions. But really putting in kind of a
mini DC, okay? I'm gonna remove the VPN and then we just roll without VPN and see what happens.
Very straightforward team fights, perhaps.
Yeah, and we'll see if things switch up as we go through what could be 3 whole games in this best of 3. For MKOI, I think they will be looking at Mirwin and saying, hey, you're actually really good at some of these eclectic picks.
Did that work, guys? Tell me, do you have 1080p on Twitch as well?
Can you bring something out a little bit more unique? Because we know that Pun really does go towards.
All right, let me see what you got, Big Pun.
It is funny though, because we've seen
straight out of New York
styles of MKOI over the course of the year in this tournament.
Big Pun.
We got the Yunara draft, which was heavily focused on protect the Supa against KT in their game, but they unfortunately weren't able to pick it up. And instead, they've now fallen back to, which is what Team Secret Wales are prioritizing, the Rises, the Talias, the Gallios for Jojo Pyun in the mid lane to try and play that more 1-3-1 style.
I see a lot of stuff up, guys. All right, we've got Orianna, Azir, and Yunara all available and only one more ban. So we're looking at a big trade of power picks.
And the question is, do you ban the Yunara and just swap those mid laners between the two teams? Do you get rid of the Azir, take the Yunara for yourself if you're Team Secret
Big
Wales?
Bun.
I think that might be where they're looking.
Yeah, I'm curious because
Yo,
is
yo.
such a strong pick for MKOI.
Wow, I
and
love
they've
this
shown they're very
draft music,
comfortable
bro.
to give Orianna across.
Let's fucking raise the
and play
volume on that.
Galio into it with Jojo Pyun. We saw that against KT, and it may be a similar call here, but instead they have learned their lesson. They were a little bit struck by the.
They banned 3 mid laners and forgot Orianna, but just to fuck with my picking. Good luck, bro.
Away that massive
Good luck, bro.
Ultimate that hurt them so much. With
Good luck.
BDD on that KT roster. It does
Good
mean
luck, man.
Sion and Yunara. Very
Just to
easy
fuck with
here for
my-
Team Secret Wales if they just want to go down
Just
that
fuck with
tier
my
list.
pick.
Pick the top laner that has the most impact. I would be surprised if Pun
Letting Sion through is easy, bro. They're gonna pick Trundle. This is a very.
It's most played champion.
It's
the champion
different
of
on
the
MKOI side.
tournament so far. Now,
Unless
the
they
problem
pick
is,
Sion Trundle.
If you don't pick the Trundle with it, then
Yeah, Kobe
obviously
knows, Kobe
MKOI can
knows.
just
Come
pick
on now,
Trundle,
Kobe.
and Trundle's very, very good in Assign, not only
Kobe.
because of the ultimate, but also because of your pillar. And so you do have to think that might be in the works for MKOI.
Yeah, I think you take the Trundle here, you're more than happy with the position that you've ended up in. And now you can also opt in towards something like a Corki here, force Soup in the bottom side, just try and nullify the matchup into the Yunara, and have this still very, very strong team fight off those picks.
And then when you're looking at Merwin as far as his individual champion into sign up on the top side, then you're thinking like, oh, is it the Mbessa, Aatrox angle? Because we haven't seen a ton of success from the champions that have played into Sion, obviously because Sion's win rate is so high. But the Trundle that we were expecting
looks GG to me already, bro.
Here for Elyoya. And so I think it's all really going according to the current meta that we've seen already at the tournament.
Team Secret Wales, when they played against KT, did look for the Jarvan Galio combination to try and punish Cuz on that Trundle early game. So there's a possibility here. They pick the Jarvan, they save the Galio for second rotation, and they try and get into MKOI's jungle early on.
All right, no curveballs yet. Then we also get the Mbessa, the most picked champion into it as well. So pretty much as far as game 1 of this series, everything's going
just doesn't work.
Yeah, I do think we're going to get that Jarvan lock in here. You could already see his toes kind of hovering it, but it does mean there's an opportunity here for MKOI to ban away the Galio and make things a little bit more difficult. But if you end up going for the Galio, I think your jungle ends up a bit too pinched for the situation that you're in. And they're not going to take either. Instead, looking towards that Alistar in the support role.
Looking for someone that can be another part
Try
of
to
E
that
connect the VPN again.
line for Team Secret Wales here. The question is, will they be able to find enough damage outside of just the Yunara? Like, if you start to ban away some of those mid lane mages, MKOI can try and pinch that pool a little bit. There are still a lot of options.
Did you say it's easy to flame the Ezreal pick because Sion turned out to be broken just now? Nah, that's fucking a stupid take.
The Rel, if you want to, the Leona,
I'm pro grabs.
Just say, hey, look, we're going to make Alvaro a little bit uncomfortable in that bottom side of the map. And also by removing that it means that this Mbessa is kind of just by herself, diving in onto the backline with the public execution, which does make things significantly easier for Team Secret Wales to just deal with that singular threat.
I like the Nico ban, because yeah, you're banning one of the engaged champs that's also
I think CFO is mechanically really good, but the LCK teams are a little bit too OP this year, bro.
Of course, when you've got the Alistar as well, don't want to have to worry about Poppy Ws. Same thing for
I think MKOI is really
Poppy,
ahead.
We've seen a lot of value from Poppy picks so far.
I don't know, Twitch is lagging for me like a motherfucker.
This one here as well.
I actually think Poppy
I'm going to check how it is.
If I'm Team Secret Wales, I'm looking at Poppy. Mbessa can't get onto the back line. If MKOI look for follow-up engage like the Rakan, he can't get onto the back line. And you can always flex him into that jungle role with you already having your support and your top lane locked in. It's Wukong as the final ban from MKOI. First time we've seen that fall this far down in the draft for a while. But Team Secret Wales obviously not prioritizing it early here.
So I was going to say, are we going to get the Jarvan curse with the Sion blessing? And see which one is stronger.
Jarvan
it looks like
is 3-0 in his last 3 games.
Yeah,
he is swapped away from the curse.
2 of those teams that won with it are eliminated already. Fnatic and PSG both got eliminated after winning with Jarvan.
Okay, Team Secret Wales, you can win this game. After that, we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's the Jarvan locked in. MKOI looking for a little bit more disengage, some CC protection with this brawl.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it's like Sion into the Trundle again. Like, I think this opens up so many opportunities to even take traditional AD carries that you wouldn't have to go for, like the Ezreal that wouldn't traditionally get through a Sion, but because you're stealing all those stats, now you're actually fine to go for that pick because that Sion is significantly
Dom doesn't have the same problem. I don't know.
A bunch of safety into things like the Jarvan. Plus,
I have
Supa's
no
just
idea.
been a fantastic Ezreal when he's been able to play it, but it looks like it is going to be the Corki, the lane neutralizer instead.
Yeah, you don't want Jarvan to have too many immobile carries to go after, so they get the extra dash here with the Corki, and his toe is probably going to be looking towards Orianna to try and pressure, burn his flash as much as possible. Meanwhile, Dire, here we go. The final counter pick into the mid lane, into the Orianna that they gave over. We were suspecting the Galio. It is his most played, was his most played for summer.
Just draft his ass from red side.
And that is going to put a lot of pressure on Eddie to be the carry. That is the damage source.
That's a complete free win by MKOI if I've ever seen one.
And Yunara.
And the question for MKOI is, can they get through those beef balls quickly enough? Or can they perhaps find a way onto the backline? If that Mbessa finds a good ult onto the Yunara, it's very tricky for her to survive through the burst. But you do have enough disengage with the Alistar, with the Galio, with the Jarvan who can jump onto MKOI. For Team Secret Wales, front to back, is all they really want to do here. MKOI, relatively similar, in all honesty. They don't have the easiest ball delivery system either, really relying on that Mbessa.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's going to be, trying to find flanks, trying to use the terrain creation that you have on MKOI to force Team Secret Wales into uncomfortable spots. That opens up for Mirren in those flank chances. And the second Mbessa actually locks you up, that's when you can just command protect and get that quick shockwave. So definitely you can find Eddie in these fights. That can be the key to victory here for MKOI. But again, I am kind of nervous for them on just that early skirmish power.
No, the VPN is on. The VPN is on. Good morning, everybody. I don't know what the issue is, guys, but I'll just put a pin. Use.
It really is. Team Secret Wales here trying to prove that the LCP is not just a one-team region. It is not only about the Flying Oysters, but the Wales alongside them, trying to carry themselves through to that 2-2 spot. For MKOI, looking for redemption against the LCP and at Worlds. Like,
I'm sorry, guys.
was a
I'm
meme
sorry.
for a very long time in the European region, and over the last 3 series, MKOI or Mad Lions KOI have played up against the LCP. They have been on the losing side.
Yeah, a lot here on the Team Secret Wales shoulders. Not only are they a representative of the LCP, but they're an entirely Vietnamese team, and Vietnam has such a huge fan base for League of Legends, a huge player base. And this team being the youngest team at the entire tournament, there is a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
And does oftentimes represent that new hope for Vietnam, especially as you see guys like Kiaya and Levi, who have been around for quite a while, and on GAM, that has been the team that tends to represent Vietnam at a lot of these internationals. It's now this new blood that is coming in and has taken down GAM to get here, which makes them so excited for so many Vietnamese fans.
Kind of
use IP config flash DNS. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tinker with it after stream, guys. Okay.
All the way back in 2022, where Elioya beat him in play-ins to have a face-off against Evil Geniuses, where JoJo beat him to make it into the main stage. It's a long time ago that we saw JoJo and Taki back on this world stage, and here they are facing off in an elimination series again.
Yeah, JoJo joining forces now with Elioya, and to great effect. And that is one of the combinations that we will be looking at pretty heavily in this game. You just saw the ages pop up there.
The reason I think Blue Side Draft is very winning is because they have
lane matchup, as we actually see bottom lane with a decent
winning matchups
there.
everywhere.
But the jungle
scale
lane
better.
Matchup, you know, those are the
team
two
fight
youngest
better.
players at the tournament on the side of Team
The only
Wales
upside is that maybe Histo can do something early game.
So we'll see if the Jarvan can put the expected pressure on Orianna. You know, we're expecting from draft Jarvan and Galio, very, very CC heavy combinations. And JoJo has always been one of our strongest laners in the West. Even when he was
Let's see if Toronto's going to do any invade
he plays
action.
very aggressively. He tries to trade on you whenever
Juliana has
you go
tempo,
for CS.
like pressure, and Braum has pressure.
Orianna versus Galio matchup, you're always trying to put a lot of pressure.
Chicken into invade, blue.
Go for health trades and try
Has
to
one action.
Yeah, trying to use that clockwork wind-up passive as well, getting the consecutive auto attacks on a single target, doing more damage for each auto attack. So he's stepping past the wave, using Command Protect to eat the winds of war and not actually have his health bar be lowered. Both the junglers passing down towards the bottom side. Histo here already on his blue and his Gromp, whereas Elioya is just moving away from his red. Consistent trades in the bottom lane as well, with Alvaro using that heal earlier on.
I do think Histo has to be a little bit careful pre-level 6 though, because if you end up jumping in onto with the Flaggy Drag to the Trundle, it then opens up very quickly for Elioya to turn a bunch of damage back around, have that Trundle pillar to just make your life really uncomfortable in trying to escape. Post 6 becomes a little bit easier because you tend to have the Cataclysm and the Galio to follow, which is why MKOI now trying to go for these kind of cheeky invades and get the control down for Elioya so he can enable the favorable matchup in the early stages.
Histo skipping a Scuttlecraft for a gank in the mid lane. JoJo's going to have to flash away from the Justice Punch. Histo just has a little bit of a drive-by.
It seems like YouTube is working well, guys.
Leaving
So
the bot-side Scuttlecraft to go and try and find
we gotta just use.
trading in here with the Unbreakable. There's the stun onto Taki. Taki pops the heal afterwards, though.
Alright, Eddie goes deep.
Down to half HP. Concussive blows almost procced as Histo dives in. And Elioya looking for the trade onto
Oh,
him.
the pillar, though.
Chomp goes the Trundle.
The pillar, though.
Down to 200.
Leo
Gets
flash.
the taunt, but gets smacked
across
the head with a club. Histo almost escapes, but the Reds enough for Elioya. A double for the troll.
And daylight coming, Elioya gangs
The
mid.
Justice Punch there completely stopped Dyer's Galio and then just wins the 2v2. That okay, Trundle doesn't have like crazy mechanics, but that was really good Trundle play right there.
He does have one mechanic that's going well, but Taki the bottom side now.
Flash away the Gatling gun though, hitting him in the bush, and
ain't no way, bro.
gets the third on the board.
It's a fucking bloodbath, guys.
It's going off for MKOI across the map. Two kills onto this Trundle in the early stages, and now the kill for Super in this bottom lane. Team Secret Wales are not enjoying the start of this.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Elyoya will be fed, and that spells danger. He has gone all of the offensive components early of the Trinity Force.
Yeah, YouTube stream is completely cooked, guys. I don't know what it is.
It started out with a good timing for Team Secret Wales. You know, they saw Elyoya on the ward there. You can see in River that is still existing on the bottom side. But then they stick around and they're on vision as well. So Elyoya takes this fight. He likes it. Starts out with the chomp fight with Jarvan. He knows Galio is going to come over and try and, combine with the fight. And so he times his pillar perfectly, expecting the play, and then just
flash out the entire thing, bro.
Brutalizes them, even gets off the last bit of damage.
I think for Team Secret Wales, you're looking at Jojo in that situation saying he's got no mana. He's got one command attack. It's basically a 2v1 for us, but not realizing the Trundle off the
YouTube stream is working really well, but Twitch stream is really, really bad.
And also just
if you're delayed on YouTube, just fast forward.
So much damage.
If you're delayed on YouTube.
Orion have no actual mana left. She was fine to just go for the play, and now MKOI in a fantastic position, especially as Elyoya has been accelerated. He's now in a position that every time Histo tries to go for plays, like he might be looking for on that bottom side of the map, that's where, again, you can have Elyoya match and constantly win out, and it just makes this game really uncomfortable now for Histo.
Yeah. When Trundle gets ahead and the opponent team is 4 melees, then you are in trouble. Trundle can really, really thrive against a lot of these beef balls. So.
At least he doesn't have something like a Scion in the top lane to steal all those really tanky stats to make him really survivable.
Or something like a Braum to help him get concussive blows on multiple people in a short-range fight. Elyoya here shadowing his bot side as they push in the wave. That means they'll go for the dragon. Team Secret Wales on that back foot. Don't expect them to contest this. They know they're not able to get into the driver's seat right now.
All right, Jarvan is a little bit too late. But if you don't take these type of fights with Galio, what are you really doing, bros? Let's see. All right, Team Secret Wales defeating the milk. Holy, Ali. Elyoya got 6 though. Elyoya got 6. He got his ult off. He's tanky. The pillar to cancel Jarvan. I think MKOI don't have enough gas here. Eddie, bam, lamb. Okay.
It's gonna be 2 for the Wales.
The best part about Team Secret Wales, they do not sit on losses. They will fight their way out, and they're still fighting.
Super in the shop instead of watching his screen as Histo collapses on him, stops.
That's like my page uses.
Histo looking for a lag and drag. He gets him. He gets the shield, and he gets him. Beautiful from Team Secret Wales.
That was so well played by Histo, knowing he had the damage. Super not respecting it, and Histo hits level 6 off of it as well.
Nice.
So even if Jojo tried to help him, he'd only be giving him a way out with the Cataclysm.
And he got a quick recall off there. He didn't go into the vision of the ward that was behind red buff. So he even gets out in a pretty timely manner.
I need to focus up, guys. I was a little bit distracted.
I'm going to be honest with you. Really good contest there from TSW. Even though they're going to lose the dragon, still contesting afterwards.
But now let's lock in.
In the Vietnamese community, in the LCP community, there is a saying about Team Secret Wales. I'll tell you after this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the overextension coming through from MKOI. They get the dragon, and they think, okay, we can try and take the fight, but because you get the Galio sent into the backline, Elyoya is completely separated from the rest of the team. Taki and Histo were able to shove Super away, who actually ends up CC for quite a while in the middle
good
of
on
this
Team
fight.
Secret Wales for recognizing, though,
who's just fine on that
they gotta do what they gotta do, you know?
Elyoya flashes over for Alvaro and sets up perfectly now where he's got some of the kills that were necessary for this composition to work.
And this from Histo as well, just chasing afterwards. As soon as you see Super go around this corner, you're kind of like, okay, he's Valkyried out, he's out. Histo so willing to go for more of the fight, even without his Cataclysm.
Yeah. Ward's over, gets a confirmation of the vision, EQs in, nobody punishes, and looks like he gets out of grubs as well with 2 of them in tow, so they get the objective credit.
Are never allowed to slow down, and they have to pray that somehow
MKOI was actually the first one.
they're getting in a position where obviously Eddie gets refed. Eddie, bam, lamb. Eddie had a job, bam, lamb.
MKOI if they're able to secure that. I was saying the saying in the Vietnamese community about Team Secret Wales is Alvaro looks for Taki here. As Taki flashes in and engage his around the corner looking for
no way.
Super
no way. MKOI. MKOI, you're not locked in at all, MKOI.
No escape.
MKOI?
And Eddie is shredding MKOI.
Tacky and Histo
getting
finding
fed.
the combo they need to lock down
He's
Super
getting
and
fed.
Alvaro. And what started
Not
off
good.
so well for
Not
MKOI
good.
has already started to slip completely out of their grasp.
If you are playing a one-threat comp, you want the kills on that one threat. Eddie here does have the Kraken Slayer completed now on the Yunara after that second kill. Histo also is going to be a
calm down, bro.
Jarvan's getting a lot of these kills and did get one of the earlier shutdowns as well.
This was just great from Taki. Spots
Eddie and
Super,
Eddie.
immediately flashes forward, gets the pulverize into the head put. And
Look at that
they're trying to
dash.
help out here by
Look at
getting
these
the stun
spanks.
on
Look at that
towards
Jarvan
Eddie,
ult.
but
Bomba.
It's just too late. Histo's like, I'm in. I'm Superman. I'm taking down the plane.
And we promised action.
I'm
between these
Superman.
two
I'm
teams, and we are
taking down the
definitely
plane.
getting
Damn.
almost a kill a minute so far in this early game.
Bro,
Taki
what
level
was the
6
saying
Alvaro
Medic was
not
talking
yet
about?
Across
What was the
towards
saying?
that ultimate mark. And Super and Alvaro have to be a little bit cautious.
Hey, yo!
In the area. Jojo, he's been a little bit involved, but mostly all
I've got a tweet
quiet
at
in this
him.
mid lane, and because of that, he's built up a 30 CS lead. But the lead is not as great as Eddie's over Super. That's a 1,000 gold lead in the bot lane.
And you've got more to come as well. That cull that you so often pick up on the Yunara because of the synergies is going to end up popping, which is only going to snowball him as well. It becomes very difficult now for Super and Alvaro to contest the wave states, as you can see. And this means you're going to start to put pressure on towards turret plates, and these observers feel like they're toying with us. I think Histo's here.
Histo going in with a flag and drag once again. Glacier Fisher out from Alvaro, stands beside his teammate while the public execution goes down to the top side. Alvaro's going to fall.
Oh my lord.
Because Alioya's in the area.
MKOI, we're getting milked. We're getting milked out here by the whales.
MKOI decide they're not going to go for the dive.
Bro, that's the worst case possible, bro. Eddie getting fed, bro. That's the worst case scenario, man.
Histo this game, you know,
They're making this comp playable, bro.
Failure in the 2v2 mid.
They're making the composition playable.
Difficult for him to get back into this game, but
guys, if you're watching the YouTube stream, please leave a like.
Kills, this Jarvan is truly,
it makes a big difference.
Actually has
YouTube is like, wow, he's such a good boy.
Built up.
Such a good boy.
It feels like when it comes to Team Secret Wells,
Let's
they never
give him
give up. They will always keep chasing. They'll always
more
want their
exposure.
fights.
And that's the saying that they know that they use in the Vietnamese community is how we win. I'm not going to say it in Vietnamese because my pronunciation would be awful, but the idea is Team Secret Wales can be 10,000 gold behind and somehow still find a win, and they can be 10,000 gold ahead and somehow still find a loss. As Pun is caught out here with
Big
the
Pun.
shockwave, should be able to walk away from Jojo.
Big Pun.
No real follow-up from the rest of the team. A command attack
Rod of
won't be
Ages.
enough even with that clockwise wind-up auto attack, and Pun just
I think
walks
Ruby
it out.
Crystal should give you
Also,
damage.
even though Jarvan has been the target of a lot of scrutiny at this World Championship, Histo was one of the successful ones. Yep. Even though they lost to KT, he still had some very good Jarvan plays in that game, and certainly has had some in this game. So Dragon will be collected for their side with their margin of gold lead, but we'll see about the payment on the other side.
Nice, quarterfinalists.
Yeah, they're going to go underneath the tower here.
Dragon exchange.
Okay, Big Pun. Buying time. He's being sound.
Yeah, you know, you pop the subjugate, you get a couple of plates. MKOI will be happy enough with that. They
Jojo
were trying to find something on the other side of the
He's
map.
got that Tom Rubery going on. He doesn't have the damage.
Their jungler
Mirwin.
down towards the bottom side. Mirwin here.
He's defending the stone, bros.
Really more of a nuisance to his toe than anything else.
I mean, you're going to be delighted with that as Team Secret Wales. He managed to
Why does
steal away
nobody
a
play
little bit of
GP? They
captaincy.
nerfed his
Don't
early game
have
too
your top
hard,
laner getting
and he
gold.
doesn't keep up
And
well
you're
with the
getting
beats of the
his own
game,
Mirwin off
like
this
swaps
top lane
and
turret. And coming back to what Kobe was saying
grub
yesterday about the
fights
death,
and
like,
Drake
these are the
fights.
kind of styles where
Like, you have to
Jarvan
give up
can
so
succeed.
much to make a
Because you've got
gangplank function.
an immobile
His
Orianna
ult is
on the
nice,
side
but
that you
it's
can
not
look to
enough.
focus down. Because you've got that added pressure from the Galio that can come over the top, this is where this game, sure, you've got great scaling, but
And he's just going in, pops the ultimate, and Super's
No
just dead.
way.
Eddie on a killing
Super.
spree, 3-0-3.
When will people learn you can't approach Yunara? As soon as she gets the Kraken Slayer, she is so strong,
Guys,
and they are not scared
no
of
way.
popping that ultimate to chase
Bro,
you down.
I expected like a
respect to the
chill
Q
game today.
charge up there. I mean, he just
I expected a
absolutely
chill kind of
destroys
game
him.
today, you know,
Super
like.
as well, blowing the flash.
All right, my bitrate
top of it,
on
going down
Twitch
is
is
one
human
thing,
again.
But going down and losing
My
the
bitrate
summoner
on Twitch
spell,
is human
you mentioned
again.
It, they could target Orianna.
I'm
Now
only
there's no flash on the
human.
Corki, so all you really have is the
I'm
Valk,
only- I'm
and
only-
Jarvan plus Galio plus Alistar. They will be coming for your head.
Plus Sion, he's looking for the chase as well, as it's going to be really tricky for Super to survive a next team fight. The good thing for him is there's still a minute before the
I don't know,
Rift
that
Build,
was-
and MKOI could decide to give that
No
up.
way
They
MKOI
wanted
lose to
after that,
Vietnam,
the
right?
next neutral objective
Team
is
Secret
that
Wales.
coming up in 3 minutes
Like, the thing is, this is the
So I
worst case
also
scenario
have
for MKOI,
noticed
guys.
in
The
some
only way
moments
Team Secret
Eddie
Wales would
does
defend.
have
fed, bro.
strong hubris. Like, he is one of the 80 carries
Guys,
that when
MKOI started the game exactly 3-0.
And we did have the one play, you know, where he hits TSW and he's like, well, I don't have vision of
What are
everybody
we talking
else, but I'll
about, bro?
still go in. So he has to be a
That
little
is
bit careful
not so
because
bongo,
he is
bro.
the entire team's damage, basically. Yes, especially in the early game, you know, there's a lot of base
Bro,
damage.
Team Secret Wales beat MKOI.
He has to be more careful with this lead that he does.
Honestly,
I 100% agree, but I think at least the saving grace.
Is stream okay? I think it's okay, yeah.
Defensive build with the Rod of Ages,
the bitrate looks green, so let's just
more gonna worry about, like,
roll with it.
When having access to the back line, and in theory, as long as Taki has that exhaust ready on the Unsealed Spellbook, should be able to survive in some of these fights.
Yeah, and in this type of game, when you are playing with
Stream is beautiful,
healers,
just like you,
gotta
Baldy.
trust your team. Eddie has to trust in his team. Hey,
Yeah, I don't know, Super
gonna
looks
go
jet lagged.
full offensive. It's on you guys
Looks
to
very
heal
jet
for
lagged.
me. It's on you guys to keep me up. Yeah. Plus, if my AD carry is that far ahead, I kind of want him
I'm
to
your
go
bold
for
streamer.
some, you know, crazy offensive
I'm
stuff.
bold and bold.
Look for the fights wherever you
Alright, this pillar could have been better. I don't like this pillar. You should keep pillar for the phase rush always.
Walk his way away. The good thing for Eddie as well is there's minimal engage on MKOI.
I feel great with this, by the way. My hair has grown back a lot, though.
Really after that, you
I need to fade the sides.
Maybe a shockwave, but you guys already talked about how low damage this Orianna is in the early game. Herald started.
It's Super's birthday, no?
Histo walks across from the side. Herald down to about 5,000. Taki gets a
Combination.
knock on both. Alvaro jumped
Boom.
on Super trying to get away, but he's dead where he stands.
Hey.
Alvaro
Hey.
in redemption. Herald
Like,
still the
Team
target
Secret
of
Wales
Royal.
are not
Wants Mighty to
hesitating at
secure
all.
it.
They
Now
never
needs to
would.
get out of the back of the pit. Does have the flash, but
But
he's
this
knocked out.
game
Will flash into the
is
Tribush.
in
Histo still
disaster
on the chase
mode.
with Eddie diving in. It's
Oh,
another, but Eddie is MKOI are rattled.
His Toe and Eddie are just the Bash brothers in this game, destroying MKOI. I mean, yeah, they lost the Rift Herald, but they're going to chase down even more kills.
Dive in, Histo with the
No way, Jose, guys. Combination. Taki down there, but damn, the diving him under the tower. The Orianna ultimate, don't get your flag.
Jojo dies
We're
where he
actually
stands.
gonna
Gets one in
lose.
response, but Team
They're actually
Secret
gonna
Wales are
lose,
ruling
brother.
the Rift.
Taki with the honorable death there sets up Team Secret Wales for more kills for the tower. And this game started off with MKOI 3-0, and Team Secret Wales are completely blowing
no
through.
way.
Put some respect on Vietnam.
Ain't
Let's take a
no
look at
way,
this one.
bros.
Again, the bottom of your screen, Histo and Eddie absolutely demolish them. In goes Alistar, Taki sets it up, and Suba just gets annihilated. Nowhere for him to go, even got exhausted. The Galio ultimate was just even unnecessary, and by that time they had already destroyed him, but they could continue the steamroll.
Yeah, I mean, it was for stall points in the Galio ult, and it's Eddie who's looking so clean on the back of this, flashing over to finish off the kills. And again now, this Yunara is massive. 5-0-5, already 2 items deep. Like, this is going to be so difficult for MKOI to try and deal with.
I will say, we'll keep track if the flash, on Yunara doesn't punish, having that one for later, but honestly,
Wait, how many X's can I go, bro? Where did 4X come from? Hey,
continue to
yo!
push for these extra kills and snowball the lead. They're even going to get some outer towers in trade. Dragon as well should be picked up. I'm thinking
4X, where did that come from?
Defend this for a while on the top side.
I thought 3 was max.
Can go make the cross map play, and especially as Trundle's coming over, they will shred through him.
Yeah, they do need Super up here, and he's on the way, so I think maybe this could be it.
I don't know about this.
Shockwave to save the way from the decimated
Alright,
smash.
that's a
TP coming
TP.
out, flashing
Here's Galio
underneath the
Galilei.
tower, and will be bolstered by the
Guys, look at the
defense.
inventory of Eddie, bro.
Crop mat defense here from
Bruh.
Team Secret Wales.
Look at
They're still
look
gonna
at
get
look at
Dragon,
the
but
80
invest
of
the
Eddie,
teleport
man.
here to keep the
Blackberry
tower
had a
alive
job.
for now.
Going back in here with the taunt, the chase
All right.
continues for Alvaro and Jojo.
Team Secret Wales, you got the boots upgrade. Bro, I appreciate how snappy they are, bro. I appreciate how snappy they are. It's incredible that Team Secret Wales, it's like, my read was that MKOI are just better laners and gonna win. They got like borderline solo kills and 2v2 kills and just better stuff. But then just that Drake fight. Team Secret Wales, they're just unforgiving, relentless. Very gum-coated, but with different player strengths. Like instead of like having Kiaya, I think that Histo and Eddie are like good, Taki good. Isn't Koki Brom a bad synergy? No, it's fine. That wouldn't be bad. It's okay.
Straight up siege, so they want to draw MKOI out to these fights where they can make use of their heavy.
We brought out the scaling copium very early. It's okay. MKOI scaling.
These team fights. So the dragon stacking is imperative that they keep it up for Team Secret Wales in order to find that path to victory.
MKOI left reeling through this early game, 19 minutes in, 4,000 gold behind, and the majority of that sits on Eddie's shoulders. 2 items already complete, has the upgraded plated steel caps as well, just from those feats of strength. And for MKOI, you're looking at it, you know, you have a lot of ages.
I don't know, like I really don't think Worlds should be about like trolling or streaming. It should be about like developing talent for the region, you know, like I really,
find anyone for the moment.
I'm unhappy with this.
You really do need from MKOI side, like a big ultimate from Mirin followed by Jojo Pyun to hopefully pick off Eddie, but Team Secret Wales aren't giving them a chance again. They're invading on this top side.
Look at this, bro. Team Secret Wales are just relentless.
Underneath their own towers and allowing them this swift movement through this top side jungle. I'd love to see Team Secret Wales try and shift that pressure in towards a mid lane tower take or trying to.
I'm gonna go say this in Kato's chat.
It is difficult at the moment with that Cloud Soul being able to allow MKOI to shift just as quickly back and forth.
Taki caught out as the rest of his team backs. He's going to pop that unbreakable wing, goes in with a headbutt pulverize. Eddie trying to come
no way,
well.
Super's always melee. He flashes out.
As the hero's tensions comes down.
Midway with the insta flash.
Now on the front line.
That's the Cyan ultimate. Like I don't know if MKOI know what the hell. Oh, he's
Jojo trying to turn Team Secret Wales into poutine.
Jojo.
2 for Jojo now as Super walks.
Jojo needs to carry MKOI.
Meanwhile on the top side, Arakan, MKOI's next prize.
MKOI finally found the fight that they needed. The fact that Alvaro ends up jumping over the wall back into the Ambessa and Histo swaps places means that they're able to find the fight they need, at least get something back for themselves.
The Arakan call slightly hasty from me with the jungler still alive. Histo staying around Mirwin.
Crazy. Jojo Pyun, best American performing player at the.
Mirwin might know, but doesn't quite get the auto attack.
Okay, my joke is less funny now. My joke is less funny now because they
got some money off this fight, of course, for MKOI, but critically they also got both summoner spells off the Yunara. So look at the re-engage here. You know,
because now they made a comeback.
Gets the Unbreakable up and gets the heal off. Here goes Ambessa ultimate over the top after they had already taken down the front line.
Isn't he Canadian? Hey, he's American. How did they make the United States of America claim American?
We're gonna start to see Jojo really carry some weight here. That Orianna Shockwave.
It's North America.
Doing, some
Everyone's American.
He has the Horizon focus done plus the Blighting Jewel, so creating some of the magic penetration. And the Rod of Ages has fully stacked. So the full value is here with the extra
thoughts on G2 partnership with Nude. I'm very good. We need more of this. Really need more of this.
And respects at the current World Championship. Like this champion is early picked for a reason.
And alongside Mirwin, who
alright, I will call him North American. Because if I talk like this, Trump's gonna listen to me. It's like he's gonna be like, see, Yamato believes Canada is a state. He called Jojo Pyun American.
I think you still have a chance here as MKOI.
We should tariff them.
That was Team Secret Wales on an overextension. Eddie is still in a very good spot.
Gonna put me in like some fucking random compilation that the government is gonna post on Twitter.
You're in a decent spot for Team Secret Wales.
And another interesting consequence of the team comp that TSW are running is that MKOI feel confident to have Jojo split pushing.
I will say North American,
so
guys.
Jojo has really kept
you guys are right.
CS
Thank you for educating me.
Yeah, he did have a pretty easy early lane into a Galio, but he's also kept
I don't know, this is like, bro, Eddie is getting IE soon, bro. He will go in full. He will go full goon.
Of those kills. Really
Infinity Edge.
Especially if he can lane into Pun on the sound. He's got basically no magic.
Good buy though from Trundle. Hobby, Randuins. Midway, Houdini. Oh, CC chain onto Midwin. Jojo Pyun is looking. Jojo Pyun is looking.
Towards the top side, exhaust down onto Dire.
Jojo Pyun is poking.
But no shockwave cord as of yet. Another Winter's Bite coming out from Alvaro just for the slow. MKOI want to fight this, but Taki's in prime position for this flank. Jojo will be able to spot him out with Elioya. Taki goes in, but the rest of the team
question
not
mark
on the same page. And Alistair ticking down the missile just short of catching his backside. Pun now the target stunned up with those concussive blows. Shockwave finds
Eddie Bam
just coming down for the magic damage shield.
Big Pun, he's not passive though. He has passive.
Use the zombie form to keep everyone else away from Elioya. Elioya falls. It's a great fight for Team Secret Wales.
Only sound passive just separated them.
Using the terrain so well in this fight, kiting back into that tri-brush so they can set up their
I think they should have not killed Sound so fast, honestly. Rare case where killing Sion was a mistake.
Yeah, zombie
and then
form
they could
value
maybe
there
hit
as
Eddie
well.
and then kill Sion on the
This is one
exit.
of the huge benefits of this champion. Pun
Taki
creating
just
so much
decided to
space.
combo in, bro.
And one of the unseen things with Jarvan as well, people often forget about the Q shredding armor. That plus
I
the
drink
black
today? No,
cleaver,
I drink
they're able to
iced,
just melt
coffee.
through Elyoya. So we take another look. Taki goes in, gets chunked out, and even with the late Alistar ultimate there, he still survives running away from it. Then Pun on the front line. It's kind of the sacrifice with the Sion there, but it's okay because of the champion and the Galio ult still able to peel. See on the top side, Elyoya is getting shredded as Histo is able to shred the armor there, and the Yunara does take him down, but the zombie form kind of pushing all the rest of MKOI back.
And but you can see in the start of these.
Have you guys
stages
seen
how
the show
dangerous that
Kim's
Team
Convenience
Secret
Store?
Wales is.
I feel like nobody
As soon as you
ever
get
talks
caught by
about
one,
it,
it's
so I don't feel like
knockup
it's known.
after knockup.
I
So
love
you
that
have to be
show.
So careful on MKOI's side.
And I
As
believe
the
they're
crew is
in
actually gonna
Canada.
face check a lot of these brushes because you don't actually have someone that's particularly tanky. Like your Braum has a redemption. Sure,
I
he
love
can
that
throw up
show.
the shield, but he will get taken down. I think that's what Team Secret Wales are playing very well around, is looking for members of MKOI as they enter into the dark zones.
TSW now one Drake away from Soul as they
Ambessa is killing Jam.
starting up the Artican TP's coming out.
So,
from Team Secret Wales.
so my impression of Canada is super nice because it's from that show.
Alro gets the Winter's Bite, 5,000 now.
It's good. I really like it. I think it's really fun.
MKOI up towards this top side. Redemption coming out. Mirwin looking for a flank of his own. Eddie has his flash though, so it's going to be very difficult to get on.
Combination. Ooh, pillar. Damn, thrown by Artican goes to Histo. Mirwin pokes away, misses Q2. That's a combination in the nation. Elyoya, where's your ultimate? Oriana ultimate. Oh no, Team Secret Welsh.
Team Secret Wales wrap around him like
Holy
piranhas
huge
to get
rocket
a
from
couple
Super.
more as
Bro, Koki damage is
continues.
mental,
Team
no?
Secret Wales able to back away with the Artican. It ends up being a 1-for-1 exchange. Just the supports going down. Looked like it could have been much more deadly for Team Secret Wales.
Honestly, it looked like a bit of an early redemption from Alvaro, maybe panic stations from MKOI as they try to find that fight, but Team Secret Wales, it's dire stops for them in this one because that Galio is making it tough for them.
And Team Secret Wales, they make the call, okay, we're going to create space to push them off Otacon so that Histo can get the objective first. Then we Sion ultimate in to create that space, push the 4 members of MKOI back, including Elyoya. Histo then burns the Otacon. They get the double knockup on this group, and then watch Histo flash ulti into flag and drag out to try and keep them in the Galio ultimate. But even with that, the shockwave there from Jojo does peel for the team, and Merwin on the Ambessa able to flash his way out to keep the casualties at 1-1, as you said.
And I love Eddie's position
I don't
in that
know.
fight as well. Consistently staying on the top.
I was starting to
left part of the
appreciate
fight
MKOI,
because
but
he know Mirren is on the bottom
I was
right,
starting to
trying
appreciate
keep
MKOI
away
again,
from
but
that
I swear,
potential
like
public
this
execution.
Adamu,
Maybe Jojo
he just
could
brought
also
me back.
come in,
I'm
but
on
Team
my
Secret
hater
Wales are
persona.
playing so well around these multiple threats
He
in
brought
the
me
MKOI
back.
lineup.
It reminded me of like
even though
how
they
fucking Ibai
survived,
treated
now
me
Jojo,
for no
flash
fucking
on
reason.
the Oriana, so Histo can go for another play onto this Oriana.
Fuck this team.
Galio plus Jarvan, incredibly threatening. And this Yunara, if the Yunara goes untouched, this is full crit Yunara looking at the big DPS scaling here.
Jojo Puna is doing all the big work, bro.
Team fights.
Jojo Puna is on some BDD shit, bro.
Such a strong position. Super struggling. Only has the Mana Moon, a Trinity Force, and a couple of swords to his name. Pun here stepping in, keeping Elyoya interested. Next Drake up in 2 minutes' time, so still a while before that soul is available for TSW.
Still this mid lane turret stands though, and MKOI going to kind of using that as that bastion to pivot off of.
No, Ibai was talking shit for me, at me for no reason, which is fine, but I think he doesn't realize how much it impacts the Spanish community.
I think that's kind of where we see what has been some of the fall points.
And the same way, like with the insinuation towards Kato, he doesn't realize like how like his fans run with that, you know? You don't get to like insinuate shit or like fucking spread misinformation, you know?
They find a way to close this game out clean.
Yeah, I think the mid game is really, really critical for, especially for this team comp, because
If I talk shit to you, yeah, it is.
Guardian Angel, if you can get Guardian
I talk
Angel
shit
on
back
Jarvan,
though.
it
I don't give a
allows you to
fuck.
force so heavily on the fights that have big rewards. Cloud Soul as well as Baron being available on the map. These are the points that Team Secret Wales really need to nail right now coming up to hammer this game home.
And on the flip side, if you give the chance for Jojo Pyun to finish off things like the Zonya's Hourglass that I imagine he's working towards, suddenly that dive potential becomes a little bit less threatening. Not having a flash gives you a second
It's okay.
life. So I think that's where Team Secret
I need
Wales
some
kind of
beef in
need
my
to
life, bro.
keep the
It
ball
keeps
rolling in
me
their
on edge, bro.
Not saying that they don't scale incredibly well, just
I
have that burst potential, as you can see.
Damage onto Eddie, he turns it back onto Super.
Whoa, Super.
In a Yo-Yo trading with Histo towards the top side.
Fucking hell, Super just lost his forehead, guys. This is soul. Can you speak Spanish, brother? I can speak Spanish, everything that comes from music. La gente es muy loca. Or mueve tu culo, mueve.
And they should be able to get it with
Or
super low.
vamos a la playa.
Crack through that mid-tier one.
All right, the moment of truth
Buenos
approaches.
noches.
25 seconds, and they're going for the resets. This means that Team Secret Wales will be a little bit slow to get to the actual Dragon fight. Allows MKOI some early movements. Maybe this is MKOI's chance if they get an early setup here and can try and take advantage of the staggered resets here from TSW.
Taki was reset twice and he doesn't have any.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, dale. I know this, and also I know sentences that I learned while watching Narcos. All right, Histo is buying a lot of time. I like that ult and the EQ through. That's like an owner move. Okay, Brom shield. Oh, Eddie's in a good spot. Histo, look at Histo how he plays it, bro.
There's the second. Eddie's gonna get a double. There's Soul for them and probably Baron alongside it.
They win the critical fight here. TSW, they walk in and they take
Soul
everything
and
from
Nash.
MKOI.
Bro, they had a really good draft too, bro. They had a really good draft too. Like, it's not like they got out-drafted, which is usually how an upset happens, you know? But, bro, I didn't even like Red Side draft that much, you know? I didn't like that draft that much, if I'm going to be honest, bro.
Eddie, every single time, who is having the protection of his life in these fights, and every time MKOI try to make a play, it just does not work.
You don't like Sion? Bro, there's other champions in the game. Like, this should be a hard Sion game.
We said,
you know?
These were the moments they're going to have to nail.
Sion lost at this tournament, you know? You remember when G2 first picked it?
To the other side of the fight, which allowed the rest of TSW to
I don't know, Corki Brom just died on cooldown, brother. Is his first Javan win? No, the other Javan win was also something that MKOI gave away to Fnatic.
On towards the back half of the fight, that makes it so difficult for MKOI to actually get access to it.
Yeah, I love it. Eddie looking to use aggressively flash in so he can follow up and kill this Orianna very quickly. Him just working so well with Taki there on the other side of the fight and taking out basically the biggest threat that they're facing at the moment so quickly just made it look really easy for TSW.
And what a start to this series for Team Secret Wales, beating VKS on day one, losing to Katie, losing to Fly. I think a lot of people wondered whether the VKS,
crazy,
VKS best of one was
Why
just
so
a flash
handsome?
in the pan. Here they come
I
out
eat beans.
5,500 gold ahead at the 32-minute mark, a Soul at their backs, a Baron at their backs, a 5,500 gold lead on Eddie, who's played this Yunara 3 times and has about a 21 KDA on it, because he doesn't tend to die. And it's just incredible stuff from the LCP number 2 seed.
Heinz beans,
demanding
unbranded beans, the cheap ones.
Worlds 2025, and they are getting it.
And it's funny to see because it was MKOI who wanted to face off against CFO, but they can't even get through the first part of LCP to get to the raid boss on the other side as Team Secret Wales stepping forward now. They want to go for this.
What happened to skin cells? What happened? What are you guys talking about? After the game, focus.
To do it. Team Secret Wales tossing the I's, crossing the T's. Histo dives in a little deep here. Concussive blows comes out, but a good Mikhails from Taki will cleanse away that.
I like Coldplay.
Guardian Angel on Histo's shoulders. With Galio pushing in the mid lane, Team Secret Wales want to try and crash.
Crazy, bro. Jojo Pyun, Elo health.
They would like.
Rabadon's death cap now completed for Jojo Pyun though, so if they can find that fight, there is the burst damage behind Jojo to try and take them across the finish line. But Team Secret Wales have played this excellently. They really just have not given a chance for Eddie to get caught out whatsoever. And even now, still having the barrier, still having the support that he needs, it feels so.
You think Verstappen will clutch and win the season? I've been saying for like 3 months that Verstappen is going to take over. He's going to get second place over Lando Norris. All right, that's an EQ win. Histo is buying time. I really like how he's playing team fights, Histo. Alvaro down.
As Team Secret Wales just slowly roll their way through the MKOI base.
There's just nothing MKOI can do. Team Secret Wales, the beefcakes are out in full force, and it's Super who's already at half HP.
Yeah, Eddie is just untouched on this backline. Histo still has the Guardian Angel. He's going to dive forward once again. Hun goes down underneath the towers. He's actually still alive somehow.
It's ugly.
Dives back in with the Justice Punch. Super forced away towards the top side.
It's so ugly. What's happening on our screen?
Trying to defend against Team Secret Wales here.
What just happened? You had to win, Team Secret Wales.
He does have his teleport. Eddie's flash about to come off. Cooldown has the barrier
Eddie
as well.
Bamalam!
Super pops the barrier of his own. The pillar goes down. Eddie out of tower range just in time as Dyer now TP's back in. Alvaro's going to come back to the fountain. Super trying to heal up before his Nexus towers go down. The Unbreakable used to block the shots. Justice Punch in with the taunt. Super coming in with the
taunt.
Eddie is low. MKOI know they have to kill
Team Secret Wales, they're going to do it.
Can't get through.
Team Secret Wales,
Team Secret Wales, they're pumping.
It's beautiful
they're hitting.
from TSW. Eddie Hoyer, the last man standing, but Eddie kites him like an absolute madman. TSW 1-0 up.
What a game here from TSW. They thought it was going to be 4 beef balls and 1 threat. Turned out to be 5 threats. I feel like Histo, really good game on the Jarvan. It felt like ever since they lost the 2v2 in mid lane, they then just took over the rest.
Yeah, and it felt like there was just absolutely no way for them to try and get back into it. But I think I want to toss it over to the analyst to break that one down.
Damn, guys, what was that, bro? I was a little bit unfocused in the early game. But what did Super Alvaro do, bro? This Drake fight? Like, kite out, bro. Kite out, kite out. Jojo, start fighting the Galio. Stop fighting the Galio, bro. Jojo, why we're all in the pit? Why can they walk on us like this? Isn't this going for MKOI? It's insane. The draft is so good. They shouldn't be able to lose. And then Histo.
Green as Histo collapses on him, stops his reset, but Super underneath the tower here should be able to go away. Histo looking for the flag and drag. He gets it.
Boah, Ega Bomber clattered. And then, I don't know. And after that, they just got, bro, he farmed them on the ganks. Look at this. Double kill. Double kill.
When
decimating smash TP.
More than happy to find that. Is making it tough for
what was this, bro? What was this Articon? Oh my god.
Team Secret Wales, they make the call. Okay, we're going to create space to push them off Otacon so that Histo can get the objective first. Then we Scion ultimate in to create that space, push the 4 members of MKOI back, including
kind of where we see what has been
of the game.
And Team
That's crazy.
Position in the early game.
How does the best because we only have 165 viewers? Oh, we had internet problems then during the entire game, so a lot of people hopped over to YouTube. That's crazy, guys. I don't know what to say.
With Poon starting in the top lane with that Scion, it ended up coming through. We actually had all 5 of our...
Wait, you can trade 5 red skins for a knife. Every knife crashed at least 60%. Red skins that were $2 were selling for like 50 each. Steam market is frozen. Shit is crazy. Really? Damn.
9, 0, and 12.
That is a crazy change to just drop on people's heads. What the fuck?
From Wales, and then
damn, that is a crazy change.
Kick it right back to Wales.
And we said before the game also, Azale, right? They do love to fight Team Secret Wales, and they started to feel it, and they know that they have the advantage on their ADC, and they actually don't make many mistakes in the rest of the game.
No,
this was my knife.
I mean, I think they have really good hands. You cannot be looking at this team as a joke, right? I think that their setups, how they play the map is worse. I feel like if MKOI, just took that 3 kills with their compositional advantage, played it out slow, control, play around objectives, just set up your team fights for that, they would have won this game very, very easily. But instead, they kind of got drawn into the chaos. 41% of the team's damage. It's a solo carry performance here. The team was all there to enable Eddie, and and he played it out beautifully.
I want to call out that Azael called it before this game. He's like, okay, if Wales is going to win, he's going to have, like, Eddie is going to have at least a 40% damage share for his team, which just shows you, again, how important it was for this Yunara not to get ahead for MKOI, and that's exactly what happened.
Just don't feed the Yunara. Just don't feed the... Oops, I absolutely fed the Yunara.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like MKOI was not thinking about their opponent's win conditions, right? You know, where it's like, you have to think about the only way
I'm
your
so happy I cashed out.
A bunch of kills. So where
I cashed out all my CS skins
where is this Jarvan
quite some time ago, bro.
Of course, they're going to be trying to attack the bot lane. So really, MKOI's bot lane needed to do nothing but sit back and trade waves. Just farm, do absolutely nothing on the map.
Escapes. You have a flash and you can E away.
And both your solo lanes have push. Jojo is way ahead in the mid lane. Like, you can play through that and just chill and farm.
That's amazing.
Not let Eddie get accelerated, and you're cruising.
And that's what I think is particularly disappointing for MKOI, right?
People selling crafted skins with stickers.
Scouted out what Wales
buy the
wanted
dip.
to do well, right? Like,
No way.
Like, okay, you're going to come at us. You're going to want to dive. You have this kind of single focus on in your comp in this Yunara. They had a perfect comp to kind of receive that. You saw
I'm looking at this every day.
It's exactly what we wanted to see out of
for fun.
So going into this next game, it's really all about looking at execution.
Look at this graph.
It's not draft.
I've seen it before.
Look at this graph.
We called up the records earlier, right? We called up the records.
I mean, look at this graph.
Lions back then, Movistar KOI, the fact that
It's a 5-day period.
Against this region specifically.
Lost the last 3 matchups.
Lost the last 3 matchups. There's also
Wait, what happened with Beyond? So basically, Beyond was. This is my understanding, okay? They were on the brink of bankruptcy, okay? They were at the brink of bankruptcy, and basically, I think they restructured the company, and they basically escaped bankruptcy. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened, if I'm going to be honest. I don't know what happened or what they did, but based over that good news and Beyond Meat being one of the most shorted companies ever, there was a squeeze. So like when shorts get liquidated, they need to buy back the stock at the price that it's at, you know? So if there's no more stock available to buy, then there's a squeeze, you know? But I don't know, bro. I saw a post of a guy buying a 750. He spent like...
Bro, which one of these did you want again? Oh, shit.
What?
Which one of these did you want again?
What do you mean?
The spicy noodle one or the bulgogi?
I owe 8.
Oh, you bought three for us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, nice.
Eat.
Thank you.
It's very little food.
Yeah.
It's light. Yeah, it's just rice, chicken, and egg.
Oh, shit, that's what you're doing in between?
Oh.
They're somewhere. They're on my table. I have.
Did he buy like 10K at 7? Yeah, exactly. I saw that shit. Yeah. This. I don't know. I'm trying to understand why it pumped so hard. Why did it pump so hard? Beyond Meat goes on a wild ride. Finance Yahoo.
What the fuck was going through Supa's head?
I think nothing.
Yeah.
Bro, how can Jarvan just fucking... Bro, it looked like a solo queue game.
Well, I mean...
Every action he did... Honestly, the Jarvan was kind of goated the way he fought fights. But
like,
these ganks
I
landing...
can understand that he was looking at the thing originally, right? Like, I can understand he was looking at the shop originally, and he didn't see the Jarvan on the ward for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But then Jarvan is still on that ward, going towards him on mid-turret, when he's just, like, sitting there AFK. That was, like, the point where I was like, okay, this guy's inting on purpose.
I don't know, bro. This game was crazy.
System updated. We will dance together. The future of money is here. Feels good.
It bumped because of an announced cooperation with Walmart. Is that the only thing?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Why did... Go up. Nice. I shares a plant-based protein company Beyond Meat in the morning session stocks positive inclusion. Positive momentum continued following its inclusion in the meme stock ETF, which fueled a significant short squeeze. Meme stock? There's a meme stock ETF? What was the catalyst? I'm trying to find the catalyst. We had the short squeeze, the Walmart deal, alright. But this sounds so ass, no? Like, what? Is this really the good news that people are hyped about? Good morning, face of a family. This is what I read, the debt restructuring. A recent debt swap deal exchanged 800 million debt, reduced incomes overall debt load, and offering a path to financial stability. This is, I think, is a bigger catalyst, right, than the Walmart deal. Obviously, the company's fucking ass, bro. I would never put money into this shit. It's just funny to fucking follow because it's just so irrational. Yeah, that's the danger with CS, right? You like the CS skins or anything. What's it called? What am I looking for? What's that web? Trying. Money cannot buy. I stopped investing into squeeze stocks that I lost 14k USD in one night on Revlon after they got delisted. Oh shit. Company got delisted. In regards to CS though, the Knights took a huge crash. Redskins went up a lot, so it's kind of balanced. Nah, but it's like... Stock is the same shit as crypto, more stable, similar notes, melting poor people's money for it to accumulate at the top. Now obviously they're trying to... Like there's always drawbacks and rotation of money. Like if you control big enough sizes, right, you can move liquidity and rotate in and out of things and make it go up and drop in the in-between. But that's why
welcome back to Worlds 2025, where we are here for game 2 of this best of 3 between Team Secret Wales and MKOI. And Team Secret Wales 1-0 up in incredibly convincing fashion, I have to say.
I was certainly convinced. Vietnam showing up huge here, game number 1.
real estate is in a weird spot right now, I feel like, because it's extremely fucking expensive. And I feel like governments are slowly getting into a position where they cannot get away with not building housing.
That's the thing, if you watch the first few minutes of that game and you went off to make a cup of tea, as a European fan, you're delighted. You think, well, things are going great.
MKOI lost, guys.
And you come back and you're like, the house is on fire. What the hell happened? And a lot of that was, again, Team Secret Wales incredibly good at finding these moments, finding these picks, and shout out to Histo, who was fantastic on the Jarvan in finding those moments to claw it back. But MKOI, they really need to step it up here if they hope to remain at World 2025.
As we jump into our Champion Select powered by Omen HyperX, let's have a look at where the bands fall. We are in Fearless. Wukong going to get removed.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it, bros. I don't know, like at some point, people are gonna have no money, no? And people are just gonna go bankrupt and go homeless. I think it's just... Real estate is cooked in every country in the world, bro.
For Jojo loves Rise as well. and has been pretty popular.
Mel's lost his hair during this game. Bruh, MKOI is 1-0 down, bro.
The jungle trying to whittle that one down as well.
We did get the Kiana ban from MKOI in the last game, respecting those pressures.
Alright, well, how do we treat Rise?
Or whether you want to just allow some of these,
Aurora ban over Rise.
Aurora going to be banned away.
Yeah,
okay.
Something that Dyer really likes to bring out, played it in 2 of his first 4 games here at Worlds, so taking that away once again from MKOI, getting rid of the Annie. Dyer now, it's already used the Galio, the Oriana's off the board. Ari really is his last option of his most played, but Rise, as you said...
It's also like rental properties are being kept at a high price because people don't want to drive up the price because of scarcity, and then people lobby against building cheap housing, which is... Alright, Elioya Kiana.
In the first game of the series, and I mean, we have seen him played in the LEC as well. Got a big lead, wasn't able to close out that game in a win, but still a pick that enables Elioya to play hyper aggressive. And I expect Alvaro to try and bring in something that's very aggressive in his own right, that can roam and support Elioya on these pick plays in the early stages.
And I want to see what side lanes TSW want to go with this Rise comp that they are building here really early on. They're going to grab this into the Kiana, see if they can try and push that one out. But is it actually going to be, you know, early AD carry pick here? Or are they going to try and grab one of these primo engaged supports?
And Nico's still available, one of the most picked or banned here at Worlds so far.
Okay.
In for Team Secret Wales. Not something we see Taki on too often. It's about his 4th, tied 3rd most pick, so has about 4 games on it so far in summer 2015. Into that, MKOI looking to see if they want to pick their support here. You could go AD carry and then ban out a couple of AD carries to get yourself a slightly better matchup down towards that bottom side. Where Super was struggling in game.
I think homelessness and people going bankrupt will be a big greater catalyst for unhappiness than people having their houses go down in value, you know. I think that the Team Secret Wales 1, 2, 3 is really strong. Rakan and the Nico is dangerous, but at least we don't see like fucking random Alvaro Bard.
But they weren't able to disrupt that engage from Team Secret Wales in the last one, so I have to see how they want to round out their composition on Comfort to try and fight back.
And bottom lane was a huge story. I mean, it was basically the story of the whole game in the previous one, so you have to respect Eddie here. You know, Kaise, his most
MKOI is down a game, lads.
big one for him, and MKOI trying to whittle down.
See what Eddie picks together with this. Could Eddie pick Caitlyn, guys?
Things like the Ezreal and that are going to be fine here, unless that is going to be the last ban here for MKOI, or even honestly something like the Caitlyn. I think you've got on MKOI something that really likes to play on short-range engages, so either of those picks going to work fairly well in just being able to poke from afar, keep themselves safe.
That's a very high percentage, JJW. So like the Netherlands is doing well, you know. If 70% of people own their own home, like that's a very high percentage.
Pop Blossom or even Curse and Call for the initiation, get a couple of slows, Pop Blossom follow-up. You also have the option of Realm Warping that Nico onto the backline.
Yeah, the results were
a couple of times.
Like obviously any Worlds in Swiss stage is going to be unpredictable, but
they want that safety for their AD carry.
Ezreal.
The mobility for your carries is at a premium.
Yeah, you would leave Zaya open if you want to pick Case for sure, yeah.
So taking away the Ezreal.
China's like 90% home ownership. Yeah, I read that article too, but it was kind of unclear about what it means to own house.
For heavy pushing early on with the Nico is huge priority. If you compound that with a Rise, definitely opens up a lot of options for you in the mid.
Yeah, in Germany it's definitely a problem.
As well as that you basically get to dictate where Kiana can walk in around those objective fights, where Kiana is so strong. So if you can set
There's a lot of things in place in Sweden, for example, like rent control. Rent control in Sweden is really big. So they pick Caitlyn. So they did pick Caitlyn. Guys, Team Secret Wales draft is better, bro.
Or is this finally where we get to see Mirwin go for something a little bit?
Bruh. They're picking Ornn?
It's really not that tanky. If they're ever caught,
Bruh.
they are just going to be bursted down by Team Secret Wales. We'll see, and there's the tank, there's the Ornn. Gives you a bit of long-range engage as well. Follow-up for the Rakan.
Bruh.
No, even initiation with that call of the Forge God. And gives you okay scaling with the ornaments that you can pick up later on.
I mean, certainly, yeah. He's picking for comp for sure right here, being the last piece to the puzzle for those team fights. The long-range engage, Ornn plus Kiana is in itself, and if you have good Rakan flanks, the engage looks intense.
The problem with the run control is that it doesn't resolve the shortage of homes. Yeah, of course, it's not the only thing, but at least it doesn't create like a dangerous incentive structure, you know? I think the incentive structure should be built around like, let's free up land, let's sell land for someone to build structures, and I hope that's the incentive, you know? Maybe you can like set up government contracts or something, you know? Like, the incentive should be around building housing and making it accessible. Yamara, I'm gambling addicted with the channel, but you have to go on the Discord, bro. We keep it clean here. We keep it clean. Just go on the Discord.
On it, even if it's not something we've seen him play too much recently. 10-2 all time on this Kiana. When he came into the league, he was this explosive jungler alongside Razork. They were the new kids on the block who really liked to play through that early game. For MKOI, they need some of that magic from Elioya. This guy that has been with the team for so many years, has made 5 worlds in a row, has gone through trials and tribulations, rebuilt the team in 2024 around him, added Jojo in this year.
I don't know, bros.
MKOI, you're looking at a long road back into Worlds. For Team Secret Wales, you're looking at 2-2. You're looking at knocking out MKOI once again from that LCP region as we get into game 2.
I see a support up in top lane. Taki here gonna sweep out the lane swap ward. See if they do any sort of resets here. You see the recall channeling start here from Supa. Now they're kind of guessing.
I think it's a great fake though. They send the support topside and look at the resets coming through from MKOI. They want to try and match now the Ezreal into that topside, but Caitlyn is stuck around the bottom lane. And the bot side is much weaker when it comes towards holding out. It's one of the changes that we had to try and stop these lane swaps. So it means Ezreal now going to have a hard time pushing, harder time taking tower, and the Caitlyn is still down here into a great matchup.
Caitlyn will be picking up a lot of drops from those plates in the early game. And a reminder that drops are active all worlds long. So be sure to log into your accounts at lolesports.com for a chance at earning some digital loot. Can't promise you extra gold in your games, but there are, emotes and such that you can pick up. So we see Daya and Jojo Pyun matching up in this mid lane. The Cassio into Ryze, a counter we've seen for quite a while. Idea that you can chase him down, the Twin Fangs healing as well, working out quite well for you. But hasn't always worked as effectively as people tell me it does on paper.
Is Renekton good versus Ornn? I swear this matchup is hard. Well, Renekton wins the matchup. Like a good Renekton should get playthings with Demolish, but the idea is that Ornn scales enough to compensate for the disadvantages in. Yeah, it also doesn't help that obviously the fucking tragedy that is the Russia-Ukraine war, whatever you want to call it, is also it's just impacting everything. Obviously the loss of fucking life is the worst part, and the needless killing, but it's impacting supply lines because we're talking about building housing, you know. Alright, back to game, guys. No politic here.
And in this position,
even though I wouldn't constitute it politic.
Just snowball off of the goal. She's going to pick up early and also open up potential invades on these next camp spawning if you want to for the Zinza.
Yeah.
No politic here.
How much the payment is going to be for the bot side turret plates?
All right.
And as you say,
they're getting massage under the tower. Ezreal's not going to put a lot of pressure on Renekton.
How low you're getting as far as the dive. So even though you are Ornn, are a tank, don't want to get too low here, and every little bit of extra harassment. We are going to see the Rakan move from Alvaro.
You do an MTV Crib style video of your hotel room? Alright. Here it is. That's my room.
Nico did end up taking the cannon minion here.
There you go.
I wonder if Team Secret Wales are setting up for a dive onto Mirren in this bottom side. He's gone incredibly low, and again, you have that opportunity to turn into that cannon minion and tank that turret for days. It looks like that's exactly what Team Secret Wales want to try and do now.
He's going to build himself a cloth armor with that passive. Plate almost down. Taki stepping forward, looking for the blooming burst damage. Doesn't quite connect.
Do you and I Dominate live together? Yeah, we share the same bed.
Potion.
Alright.
In the mid lane, the catch It's Kiana with Burst Blood and
Meduini.
the dive on the bot side. It's
Wow.
Great tanking from Taki with the cannon. Good
Okay.
spot there, Dagda.
Yeah, really nice job on the bottom side, but MKOI able to fight back in the mid lane, playing around.
They got a kill though.
Jojo Pyun and an early kill.
Went to his though. Elioya got the kill.
Something back for MKOI.
What, is Conqueror common, guys? I keep seeing First Strike, and I feel like that makes the most sense on Kiana.
Very slight lead over to TSW, almost negligible. It's going to be about where the goal did go, and you know, Xin getting kill credit and Kiana getting kill credit. If you see a Kiana get early lethality items here, that can be devastating.
His Nico tanking thing is a little bit silly.
Looks like though actually it's another little bit of a lead to Elioya, thanks to being able to get both Scuttle Crabs as well. Now moving back in towards jungle, he clears his bottom side, will reset and be able to move back into his top side as it starts to respawn. So for Elioya, nice little lead and
Elucidated Dark Base for Caitlyn, which is pretty nice. They're back to regular matchups. Jojo putting down the pressure. Yeah, Jojo is much better laden than Dire. Dire is more of a supportive player. I feel like all Vietnamese mid laners are. All Vietnamese mid laners are just Annie, Galio, merchants. Jojo feels safe because of Kiana position. Oi. Oi. Oi.
Buff that secures it there for Team Secret Wales.
Nice counter there. Histo gets back in towards mid lane to even up a bit. I mean, the offensively blown flashes can be punished just as much as the defensively blown ones.
And this is the problem with Elioya sticking out on the map so long. He hasn't actually got to reset to match the early back, so didn't have the damage when it came towards matching that gank in the mid lane. Really nice timing window from Histo.
Yeah, Histo a little bit behind on the camps because of it, and Elioya keeping up the farm, but doing that work and actually getting the kill credit does mean the gold will be close.
Pun hits 6 here, chasing Mirwin out of that top side, has about a 15 CS lead as he's holding that wave. He's actually just tanking the tower. With Mirwin not being level 6, there's no threat of a Call of the Forge God. You still have Flash as well for Pun, and by holding that wave where it is, it's going to push.
Like First Strike is like, it's not about only getting the gold. I just feel like damage-wise also it just kind of makes sense. Big Pun, yeah, that's what I call him too. Yeah, Midwin is fucking cooked in the matchup, bro. This is freezing, guys.
And you're even more threatening, so pulled the wave a little bit.
Mirwin does have the Bramble Vest though.
Flash away from Mirwin.
Good flash from both, technically. But I feel like you can always get the W up front if you just make it a little bit less obvious. Good flash from Midweenie.
And for Mirwin, using the Bellows Breath there, which is your ability to avoid the Ruthless Predator stun, right in the face of the guy that wants to jump in as Jojo is the target. Petrifying Gaze will get the stun onto Diamond.
Oh, Jojo's been taking the CS as he leaves. It's kind of cold.
Jojo just uses his ultimate, is able to slither his
What would you do if you got as heavy as Big Pun was?
Petrifying ult to keep himself safe, but also a nice ultimate to burn.
I don't know, bro.
Stages, especially looking at things like Dragon.
Go on a fast.
Void grubs that are about to spawn as well.
Let's do some fasting.
Jojo Pyun should have his ultimate back up in time, but still, I like this proactivity from Team Secret Wales in the early stages.
This.
Pun arriving in time for the minion wave as well, collects it even with the slow.
I don't know, like if you get 700 pounds, like how do you recover from that? Has that even happened, that somebody recovers 700 pounds? Or is like the impact on your joints and your organs too much?
With the sweeper to sweep out the lane swap detection ward, making MKOI guess, resulting in the early game lead for themselves. The other thing that has been a big contributing factor to that lead, of
Who's the best fat pro player of all time? Bro, Chubby Uzi was fucking goated, bro. How much is 700 pounds? Bro, it's like 300 kilos.
Operational.
Thank you very much fucking me for the Prime game. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Eddie, most of that is just off taking plates. You can see the CS is equal. Obviously, there's an extra assist for Eddie, but he's in such a strong position.
Kind of like the draft from TC Good Wales, guys.
Grub started by TSW as they force MKOI back into their jungle.
I think you don't fight this if you're Elioya, right? And MKOI. It looks very dangerous. Look at Renekton also coming through. Reggaeton is here. The only play that Kiana maybe has is to lane gank top, but even there, then there's a ward.
The split push with the
Wait, what? Did he intentionally give him the asset? Give him more gold?
Right now.
And immediately, with all of the turret plate money that they have been able to earn, looks like they will be able to continue it. I mean,
Isn't it disgusting the Western teams play so little games compared to Korea and China?
no matter where it is on the map.
Yeah, I've said for a long time that Riot should just host the studio games Saturday, Sunday, and then have games running from Wednesday, and just have best of threes and a shit ton more games. Just a shit ton more games. Keep it busy in a beautiful way. And then for the weekend, just save your biggest matchups and have that in a studio, you know? And like that, every team can play 2 best of threes every week. And we can replicate the schedule of LCK. And I think that would be fantastic. Just have 2 best of threes a week for each team, and you just have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, and I think it would be really cool. And then just on the weekend, when it's in studio, you just play your big games. Have your Fnatic versus G2s, G2s versus KC, KC versus KOI.
It's one of those things where you just have to reframe your expectations around the LCP. CFO have proven it to us at first hand, they've proven it to us at MSI, and now
Bro, I don't know.
Wales are proving it's not just a one-team region either, the entire of the LCP.
Is studio expense the bottleneck right now? Yeah, it is, yeah. Teams will get mad not being on stage, right? It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
He's flanked, Histo stepping forward, they don't know, Taki's here, Pop Blossom, the blast
Elioya.
available, Supreme Display of Talent will get the double stun, the blast going out by Elioya gets him to safety.
Are they gonna pressure dive on Meruini? Meruini is healthy, he's healthy.
He's all on his lonesome, no wave will be his saving grace here. Team Secret Wales won't be able to look
What if people DDoS the studio? What happened to us? Bro, that's not gonna happen. What does that have to do with anything?
Winning both side lanes at the moment because you just had Pun on the bottom side also pushing out the Ezreal. And
This big boy is not gonna die.
Their onslaught on the towers. Even if you don't go
How did KOI lose the previous one? Bro, they had no chance. They got stomped, by the way. The Team Secret Wales draft is so good. I think they won with a way worse draft.
Like we're 11 minutes into the game. That could be a way for you to force fights a little bit earlier in the game, because Cassiopeia scaling is insane. This Ornn going to add a lot of help in that later portion of the game as well, but still they're getting so much gold.
Call of the Forge got used by Mirwin just to clear out the wave here. Doesn't kill off all the minions though, there's a couple of casters still there. Histo diving in onto Mirwin, who does have the flash. Ace in the hole is going to connect onto him, and Histo looks for the chase. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Pun surviving. There's no dive materializes.
Are they getting 2-0?
Kill, and what will be a tower
Bruh.
for Team Secret Wales on the top side.
Patience from Histo on the knock.
This is over.
Waited for the Bellows breath to come in when Mirwin trying to time us, and ends up catching him the second that flame.
Brothers.
And now Eddie.
They're getting stomped!
Caitlyn with those 3 Void Grubs getting work done in the side lanes.
Meanwhile, Pun on the bottom side, nice job from him as well. He ults, he dodges the Rakan knockup, just clears out the wave, is able to hold on the bottom side. So the payment is the Dragon. MKOI, though, very far.
Is it by streaming?
And they return to this bottom side.
Something I love about Team
Is it by streaming?
Like now they're 2,500 gold ahead, 12 minutes.
Is it by streaming?
They lost to a KT comp that did a very
Or he's not watching.
what they're doing right now. They lost to
You never know what they buy nowadays.
pushed out of every lane in the early game. Here, we haven't seen Caitlyn for Eddie at all this summer. And now they've adapted, they picked it up, and they said, okay, we can do that too. We can learn, we can grow here at Worlds.
And when you try and put a stop to this Caitlyn, it's a Ghost Flash Caitlyn. So a lot of ability here to try and avoid this engage that we really highlighted in Champ Select for MKOI. And we'll see if Eddie can be a big player in this game as well.
And it's a very similar story to what we saw in the last game, where you have
I'm laughing to the bank like ha ha ha.
that can sit in front of you and
Ha ha ha.
access to this Caitlyn. Like,
Ha 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 ha.
you got Histo with the ultimate, same when you look at Pun.
Western Tabe Yamato is Vietnam is better than Spain and LoL.
Their wave is a cannon wave, and my wave isn't?
Odd.
Very suspicious.
Also, a team that Team Secret Wales beat a Chinese team. Shout out to Gum.
Free cannon, nice. Extra gold. My lucky day.
Why did MKOI preemptively swap? They didn't want to lane the matchup. The matchup was impossible to play, bro. This matchup was fucking hard.
We're going to see the continued push from TSW. Now we're going to have a possible rotation over towards mid lane, but The long extended lane on top side too should be pun favored. He's got his black cleaver done.
I didn't know MKOI had it in him to do an even more pathetic Worlds run than the previous one.
Mirwin pops the dominus and looks for the chase. Slice and dice forward. Mirwin having to use the flash to get away. Do it, Pun! Carla, the weak. Pun finds it. Now he's going to get collapsed on by the rest of MKOI with a TP coming in, but they have to invest so much to kill off this Croc.
It's about getting that message, you know. He has domination in the side lane, gets the kill on Merwin, invests his flash to do it as well.
But it's completely worth, because look at the bot side. You've got the Ryzes pushing in there, you've the Caitlyn that's shoved in mid, and because MKOI, everyone went to go and deal with the Croc, the rest of Team Secret Wales are succeeding.
100%. It's about keeping up the pressure on all sides of the map at once. So if they teleport up there, if they try and trap you after you go for your kill, there will be further payment across the map. And this is solo tower gold to a Ryze.
And now if you're MKOI, you're looking at this 14.5 minutes in, 3,000 gold in the hole.
Crazy, bro.
Disadvantage in the top side, the enemy AD carry, although
Crazy, bro. Bro, what's happening on the screen?
As well. You're preying on mistakes. That's what you have to do here as MKOI. You're praying you can somehow get to 3 items, maybe to 4 on this.
Battle cruiser operational.
Those ornaments starting to come out. Because right now, Team Secret Wales are running the map.
But it's MKOI who will be kicking themselves for their own mistakes.
Crazy, bro.
Over the course of the whole year, wanted to grow. We're talking about how at each international they made it to.
I can't believe it.
They were trying to find new ways to approach their style of gameplay.
I can't believe it.
It was supposed to culminate in
Is this happening?
And that's just not what we're getting to see right
What was the Worlds run of MKOI?
Already a game down.
What was the Worlds run of last year? I need to check.
They're kind of trapping themselves inside the river. That's a very dangerous predicament to put yourselves in at the moment. Ryze has
This is the most pathetic Worlds run of all time.
Apply pressure just by waiting. Have Ryze continue to push out on
Battle cruiser operational.
No, Mad Lions lost 3 games last time. So Mad Lions lost to Billy, PSG, and Gum.
Team Secret Wales, and they'll take the Herald 16 minutes in. Next Drake a minute away. Let's see if Team Secret Wales want to go for that. I expect this Herald to be used around the mid-tier 1 just to crack open that entirety of the tier 1 towers from MKOI.
Yeah, especially when the Dragon is about to spawn, and if MKOI even try and contest, it's your mid-tower gone, potentially a tier 2 gone, and suddenly this map becomes a little bit less likely for MKOI to be able to enter it. It's Team Secret Wales with such a commanding chokehold on this game. You can see Alvaro trying to set up this deep vision, but does get spotted out. Looking for a pick, looking for a moment. But it looks like he might actually find himself caught a little bit. Doesn't look like Team Secret Wales are interested in the bird, though.
Georgia Pune, the hope of Europe. The hope of Europe, come on now.
Pun trading onto Mirwin once again. Black Cleaver complete helps a huge amount getting through the Chain Vest and the Bramble Vest on Mirwin. Rift Hell being
the hope of Europe.
Dragon does come up, so we'll try and see.
Come on now.
TSW decides to go for the all-out push through mid, or if this is just about Prio, making sure you get a charge in and then gain control of the bot side river.
Boom.
Yep, guarantee the charge here. And again, if they can move Eddie into the river
Big
early,
Pun, the GOAT, bro. Where did he come from?
that's hugely beneficial for the approach.
Big Pun subs in, didn't play all year, and he's about to 2-0 Koi, man.
So it's going to be a bit of a retake situation. MKOI grabbing the Scuttle Crab first.
All right, I need to lock in a little bit. I've been a bad streamer today. Let's lock in.
Choke point right here, but MKOI retreating super.
Swarking shift across the wall there. Was holding onto it for a long time.
Look how rich Eddie is, bro. That's all platings, bro.
MKOI trying to step back up, trying to get a little bit of vision control for themselves. That Nico clone doing a lot of work as it disappears out of the bush. And this is a little more tentative than I would like from TSW. I think they're in a stronger position than perhaps they are playing right now.
Bro, I just saw the coin here in Korea, bro. Look at this dude, bro.
The supreme display of talent combination that can come out from MKOI.
I wonder what he did in history.
Incredibly close to his Infinity Edge, and I think they might be waiting for him to try and finish that, which is why he's getting so much of this farm in the mid lane. So
Game 1, Andy. It's late now. You can't be a bad streamer for Game 1, then lock in Game 2.
The interrupt as well.
It's shaved.
Should be Dragon here for MKOI.
Yeah, also TSW.
Any chance of Yamato Cannon going back to coaching LEC team? Seems low. Nobody has money, bro.
Heavily into gold. MKOI, as you say, are going to be able to pick up number 2. And we'll see about the pressure applied in the side lanes by Pun as well.
Shut up,
as
Sagar, I see you.
Pun is fine with 2 low damage.
Hold on, I can't focus. I either focus too hard or not at all. There's no in between.
It's the Infinity Edge there for Eddie, so we're waiting.
Alright, let me lock in. Let me lock in. For real now, for real. For real, for real. Koi should outscale. Not necessarily. Like, Caitlyn scales. She just dips in mid game if she's behind, but Caitlyn post 3-4 items is insane. Like, Ezreal kind of falls off. I'm the replication of MKOI's player attitudes. Something, yeah. MKOI have 2 dragons. Maybe that's the hope.
Their willingness to step back on a side lane. Dire now beginning to step back up as he tries to clear out the way. Velioya waited. Miasma down. Petrifying Gates coming out as well.
Okay, MKOI, Super Wounded Man.
TP comes out from Pun, but his mid lane is already dead. Alvaro trying to get away, cleanses out, and the wind becomes lightning slow.
Yeah, good attack on the side lane there from MKOI, trying to take down one of the pushing prongs of this team. Ryze had backed off, Dire was like, all right, I'm weak side, I know, I got to back off for a little bit, but Elyoya kept up with the play, stayed down there. So once Dire returns to the tower, they do get their dive off. Their mid lane, of course, the outer tower went down pretty early, and the secondary one sustained a little bit of damage, but MKOI kind of riding the line at the moment.
I do think there is a window now where MKOI can just say, right, we're hands off on the dragons, and we are just going to collect waves and side lanes. Like, 2 items now for Jojo Pyun. He will be very strong as he starts to approach his third. And you've still got this Orin. You're starting to hit points for Supa. Like, this is a game that is very much in control of Team Secret Wales, but the late game is incredibly strong if MKOI can find their fights.
The team fighting from this team has the potential to
Team
be
fighting, Lila.
explosive. Again, the engagement we highlighted in Champion Select is there. The burst damage.
It's not so easy to get contact with a Caitlyn because she has built-in dash and range.
Actually,
Infinity Edge get the ace in the hole down as well. Elyoya forced all the way back.
I think this is a coin with Yi Sun Sin. Korean Admiral is the national hero of Korea.
9 here. With the outgun being started by Dire, but I don't really think he's looking for it. We saw this similarly in game 1 as Taki's caught out a little bit.
Well, I do kind of
walk away. True shot
Ooh, alright. We're speaking Spanish. Okay, Team Secret Wales.
He will utilize that escape tool.
Ooh, what can MKOI do with this timer? They know they've forced out the Nico, but it looks like not going to get hasty with it.
But that's
okay.
Like, honestly, at this point, you should be looking for something like Pun should not be able to clear out that top wave. You could be putting pressure.
They couldn't have. I agree with Dagda here. I feel like they could have done more with that, no? Like MKOI is too scared. I agree with Dagdarini here.
I wonder if the risk of how quickly Team Secret Wales can get back.
I agree with Dagdalena here.
Got the Realm Warp, the Rise. Like Histo had stayed around, so he can always steal. Pun still has his dominance.
I like the Arabification of some first names.
If you're a European
like Magdalena is Mujdelin. I have an aunt named Mujdelin. I think it's a beautiful name.
And they're looking for their scaling to
Yamato's my boyfriend. Thank you very much for the tier 1.
For Jojo, Ornn gonna start upgrading some items fairly soon as well, so they're definitely invested in the long term.
This is like if you want to sexually harass me at this sub, this person knows.
Soon to be spawning Scuttle Crab. I'll try and take that for Elyoya, who's been able to keep up with farm on this.
Starks Gage.
Good interrupt, honestly, because TSW again.
You think Casey would get humanoid? Nah, I doubt it.
Applying pressure on the opposite side of the map from the Otacon, so keep the split push up. He's got his teleport. They can.
Alvarito, Taki. Look at that TP. This is the longest TP flank of all time. I don't know if I believe in this. Crescent Guard. Alvarito. Good Cassie ult. Looks like a winner-winner chicken dinner for MKOI. Dire with the flank. Super. Oh no! Holy, he got RFK'd. Maybe too soon. Dire's jogging. Here comes Elyoito. EQ guaranteed. Stun. MKOI's back in the mix.
They'll find a 4-for-1 somehow.
And now they will get the Otacon. MKOI fight their way out of it. TSW, they called their play. They teleport the Rise in, but MKOI fight it out through
All right.
the river, and they're going
LEI and JoJo want to win, bro.
This is where it's now terrifying because MKOI are winning fights and they've got the dragons, but it's this play as Taki tries to go for the setup here.
This is such an ugly fight from Team Secret Wales, bro. Like, what are we doing on the timeline here, bro? Who scales better? I think it's like kind of a mixed bag, honestly. It's a mixed bag. I think the execution of blue side is easier.
And Alvaro with some big setup work there as well on the recon, locking them up. Charm, knock-up combo. MKOI.
I had also a friend named Eddie growing up. He had a twin brother called Freddy. So they were Eddie and Freddy. I've known Eddie and Freddy for like 25 years of my life. I would call them my closest friends by far. Eddie and Freddy, baby.
Third dragon going across, so it will be a little bit of time before MKOI can stack that. But again, this is what we're talking about. MKOI's late game is nothing to sniff at, and now they're starting to find fights. They're getting gold onto JoJo, who is a very, very scary carry. And I think for Team
Locket, very based. Mirren knows he's fucking feeling the housing crisis.
Via those Ornn upgrades. And for Team Secret Wales, you're looking at like 2,500 gold that just evaporated in a single
I think blue side execution is easier. Nah. Hey, no politic here, bro. Relax, it's the world's co-stream. Like, I want to come back next year. Relax.
It's hard to operate in the side lanes. It is hard to operate, pushing and overextending because of the range.
Does upgrading Rylance make sense? You get health, I don't think it makes sense. But very little Archangel. I think it was just random.
So MKOI, I feel like they just have way more useful tools in the game now looking forward.
Sorry, did I say blue side execution is easier? I think red side execution is easier, but I do think that Team Secret Wales scale good. Oh! Miasma. Why did he use an inhaler? Because miasma.
Looking to bolster the defenses down towards this bottom side, but MKOI don't have to go for anything more.
Dyer is a tank mid lane player, Andy. Jojo Pune and Elio really want to win. Really want to win. Ooh, Eddie Bam Lam has no sum. CC chain, he's bouncing. That's Nash, no? That's Nash. We have Jojo Pune TP. Alright. MKOI woke the fuck up. They woke the hell up.
And maybe, just maybe, they can push us to that game number 3.
They woke the hell up.
Engaged on the bottom side, Ornn engaged in the mid lane, and MKOI are stacked now. Multiple Ornn upgrades coming through. Elioya got his as well. Their team fight is insane.
Why are we not doing Nash?
So if they just camp out here,
what the hell?
To force TSW
Okay. They're scared, guys. Understandable. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. Job safety, guys. Job safety gaming.
Rapid fire poke does come through, but just past the 25 minutes, it doesn't seem like they're.
Hey, yo, what the hell? Hey, what's happening with the textures? Big pun. I was in a corridor. I opened the 4-4 door. Can we do Nash now? Can we do Nash now? We're not doing Nash now? Eddie just got shaved? We're not doing Nash. We're letting Rise push bot. Dyer's over 15 with Rise with Roa at 27 minutes. Alright, we're starting it, bro. Alright, finally.
On the Baron. Instead, they'll try and take a tier 2 on the bot side, and they should be able to secure it with Eddie coming across to help out Dyer.
I like this response from Supa. It doesn't actually go towards the Baron. Instead, he goes towards the top turret.
Alright, Supa milking gold. Supa so rich. Supa almost catching up. 800 Gs behind only now. MKOI's got this in the bank. Bag.
Redemption used by Alvaro as well to try and keep people around. You can see MKOI are just looking
oh.
avoids the call of the
Close, very close. Dragon spawns in 30 seconds. Super duper, never gonna find you. Alone in the mid wave. Holy bouncy castle. Alright, Joey the Pure with a nice miasma. Rakan died somehow. Alright, it's Cassiul, landed on absolutely nobody. Pune. It's peppering Pun.
With the minions pushing into the tower. In fact, that will be an inhibitor tower in the mid lane. Eddie trying to
oh, what is this flank? What is this Caitlyn flank?
Chases in and Eddie gets him. The shutdown. Elioya tried to make a fancy play with his flash. Now a TP behind by Team Secret Wales.
It's going absolutely disastrously for MKOI. Team Secret Wales, they're turning into sharks as they're seeking and hunting for MKOI. But the mistakes were there, and now Super
watches in the Mystic shot wide as Eddie
Super? Super? Man?
Settle for the Drake.
Oh man, Eddie is the TSW hope.
What the hell, Eddie?
MKOI down and keeping TSW in the game. That
needs to be careful, but Cave is live in the bottom side to stop the reset.
Damn.
Eddie and Dyer, so MKOI could all in with 4 members.
What are we watching, bros?
But when they couldn't find the play, and Eddie then gets Elioya, it opens up Team Secret Wales perfectly to get back onto the map and steal that crucial dragon away.
Really nice sequence of Team Secret Wales after the fact as well. They stole away the blue with Histo, and they managed to secure their own with Tucky, so they'll be very happy to not give a blue buff over to either this Cassio or this Ezreal, who are obviously so reliant on having that mana.
Yeah, that is actually truly massive. You know, in the late game when it goes to everybody as well. Now, we're seeing them push top again. We've got Renekton with teleport ready, and Pun is trying to split push.
Quickness, supreme display of talent, and the true shot barrage.
Okay.
Shot barrage. As MKOI find a couple of kills, they're going to chase onto Eddie as well, who's able to avoid the edge of the knock-up there from MKOI. Realm Warp out by Dyer. Try and get someone to that backline. Pun
that should be enough. MKOI taking us to game 3, guys. That should be enough, bros. How deep are they gonna go? Nash is gone. I don't know how much of an ending play, considering how slow MKOI was on pushing Nash. How are they gonna look for the finish? Big Pun. They have a wave coming. Super minions on midway, but they're fighting against minions, so it's slow.
Makes it a 4v5 in MKOI's favor, but we'll just turn their attentions back towards the jungle.
The Red Bull Baron power play was next to nothing for MKOI.
Do you watch the NBA? No, I do not. I only watch League. And then I follow politics, bro. That's also sport. Like, it takes up too much time. Every day there's something new in politics, bro.
You know, that's the lone inhibitor still remaining for TSW is the top side one.
No politic here.
MKOI, they reset.
If League dies, what do you turn to? I don't know. I want to open like maybe a restaurant or a cat cafe.
Looks like Elioya has another item completion as well, so they'll be slightly delayed.
If Pun was an emergency sub, then it's Pun not intended.
Be able to come back out now, but with that Edge of Night complete, makes it much trickier to catch him out. 10-2 on this Kiana. Take it 11. Zonya's
Have you played Dota? Yeah, I did.
Rylai's Rod of Ages, Dark Seal. 10 stacks on the last 2. As Jojo is in an incredibly powerful position on this Cass. No boots, of course. Just in case you were wondering.
You're becoming a plumber without League? Yeah, that's my that's like plan C, bro. I haven't seen Bloodsport.
Denying vision around this jungle, going to take away as much gold as possible in the form of these camps. Elioya waiting down towards the bottom side of
Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite Dota. Oh, Cataclysm. Deathwing is here. Deathwing is here, bro. Only back-to-back bullets hit in the same game. Beautiful. Beautiful, bros. Well, Eddie is very fed, but he doesn't have flash. So I bet MKOI, I got super creeps in the boat wave. I think Jordan should defend that wave, no? On boat.
And it's up to Mirwin to escort this minion wave in.
You can see MKOI actually delaying this. Mirwin waiting to get those last hits on the opposing minions, so the bot wave and the mid waves line up with it properly. Pun trying to defend, but he backs away. The inhibitor tower will go down. MKOI doing this by the numbers. 3 inhibitor towers, 3 inhibitors, and now a last chance defense for Team Secret Wales.
They're trying desperately here. Can they do it though? MKOI knocking on the door, and Team Secret Wales.
It's a back away into Baron angle. It's a back away into Baron angle with the miasma coming down. MKOI lose one of their tools in the fight, so they will turn their attention over towards this team-wide Baron buff.
Now, obviously, I wouldn't open a restaurant just like that.
It's an elimination game.
I would be very careful.
So they are taking no chances at messing
I'm aware of how people go bankrupt and they don't make a profit. Like if I open a restaurant, it would be very, very simple. Like my dream would be, like I would just have a fried chicken place with like 3 seats, and I would just chill there, make my fried chicken, and then I would have 4 items on the menu. I would have chicken, and fries, and that's it.
Is going to make it so easy for them to huff and puff and blow it over.
Is your fried chicken any good? I've never made fried chicken.
Dyer stopping his recall on the bot side. You know Team Secret Wales are not going to challenge for this. MKOI get the Baron. We'll see if this Red Bull Baron power play is slightly more advantageous for them than the last. The inhibitors in every lane down for at least a minute more. Mid spawns first, then bot, then top. And MKOI will look to end the game in that next minute.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet you that this Baron power play includes a Nexus destruction for MKOI.
Oh, I'm surprised
Easy permaban.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, it could do. You never know as MKOI
It's actually just going to be a KFC dropshipper. Nice from Jojo Pune. Nice from Jojo Pune. Okay. Alright, shout out to Elioya and Jojo Pune. They carried this game.
Elioya diving in for a triple to his name. Pun on the fountain will find one. A quadra. In fact, Super gets the last. But
Okay, Jojo and Elioya. Jojo and Elioya are playing.
Found the fights that they needed.
Dropshipping KFC, though. That's a fucking funny line, bro. Dropshipping KFC.
One more game to decide your year. Analysts, how are you feeling?
A little bit better, Kobe, about the chances of Movistar KOI at least, and about the fact that they recovered the game, which actually did not start off in a dream way for them at all. But I'm just happy they're still in it at this point.
I will say up onto you because you're like a disappointed parent yelling angrily. You did it with G2 yesterday. Now MKOI, they do come back a little shaky in the early game. We did see Wales getting some advantages from that initial swap, being able to dive the Ornn, really getting advantages for their Nectin, but did not work out as well for them.
Tough love.
Okay.
Everybody needs it.
Jojo Pune and Elioya deserve to go through.
As Emily already teed up, like
Okay.
what MKOI had to recover because of the early game?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think it was good that they got the Ezreal out of that 2v2.
What cats would you have in your cat cafe? Bro, if I open a cat cafe with my wife, right, we would probably just adopt cats and take care of them, you know, give them a better life.
In the 1v1, he had 2 cloth armors plus the Doran shield against just the Doran shield from Renekton. Hadn't even based, kept spending all his spells on the minions while the Renekton is hitting him, just completely ignoring him, and built himself a massive deficit as a result. Was down 30-40 CS relatively early in that 1v1, and he really put themselves into a hole. Plus, I have to say, Eddie was using the Caitlyn well, moving around the map, collecting plates, building up that gold lead, but it kind of all came down to one big fight.
It did. They were in a 4K deficit, but they were able to claw it back from Movistar KOI thanks to the reliable Cisco network. The timing was just right, and they needed it.
Nice. The angry KOI fans are coming at me because I say that Jojo Pune is elo held. They are so Spain built that they can't accept that Jojo Pune was the only one playing game 1, you know.
Setup and cast, like it really has to be about this Cassio counter pick. Jojo was the one who was in such
Where's
a good
the block though? Where is the block?
They can't deal with it.
That's what you get for being in shop last game. Like,
I mean, Jojo, I gotta call it out. Jojo has been smurfing these last 2 games. I think he was their only hope in the last game. He was the only one with a significant lead in this game. Like, he has been kind of 1v9 for MKOI in this series, and I feel like he really is stepping up, giving them a chance because they're building themselves holes, and Jojo is kind of like the chance to bring it back. They were able to do it here in game 2. I also think they've had big draft advantages in both games. So you can't have bad early games like that if you don't have a draft advantage, if you don't have an individual player that's making those things happen. So going into game 3, you have to hope that they can create that big advantage again and that this man on your screen can keep putting up some big performances.
Yeah, and I also think it's what happens after some of these fights, right? Because I do think that is where we see kind of the...
I joke about driving an agenda against Spain. They believe it. We are not the same KOI fans.
Massively after that fight we just saw, they got Otacon, they got Tier 1, they equalized the gold completely. When they did Baron, I thought it was really smart to then send Supa down to get the Tier 2
Look at Rise damage, by the way.
That's yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a caster minion.
It is.
He hasn't been doing well, and he's still not doing
Talking
well.
about JoJo, though, first time
Tether.io. What's this?
You know that riddle I talked to you earlier about? Taki was on Saigon Buffalo, who lost to Movistar Koi. Well, not Mad Lions back then. With Elyoya, but then Elyoya lost to JoJo on EG. And so everything is connected. The question is, who will...
What is this, Tetris? Oh shit, I misclicked. We're solving this. Oh no, I misclicked again. It's a disaster, mate. Music goes kind of hard though. Wait, he's shooting at me? Who's shooting at me? Remake. Bro, I misclicked space, bro. I misclicked space so many times. Remake. Hook it, man. What happened to the music? Oh! Kurwa bałagan! Bro. How good are these people? Are these goated?
Sometimes I do have breakfast. And when I have breakfast, I like to have a quiet...
Wait, remake. What's Kato saying?
Normally have breakfast.
I don't normally have breakfast.
You know, he has been running that
Sometimes I do have breakfast. And when I have breakfast, I like to have a croissant. But I don't like to eat the outside. I only eat the inside of the croissant. I like to just inside.
Absolutely insane. It feels like at times he can do no wrong, and it has to be shutting down him, even if we didn't get to hear it in the Chowie.
I don't.
That's not real. Nah. This is streamer persona. Streamer persona. What? I have to forget.
Battle cruiser operational.
The world's content has been amazing. Much love.
Bomba clotted. All right, we're fucking warm, by the way. We're warmed up. We're doing some Bob the Builder shit right here, bro. Who's shooting me? Kurwa jebana. What? Can I store? Ah, chivale! Anio! Nein! Mein Arschloch! Oh! Oh, he's still alive! Oh, he's doing it! We're really doing it, Red Band! No! Alright, that was a good time.
Stand on the precipice of being eliminated from Worlds. Game 1, MKOI got ahead and Team Secret Wales won.
Holy.
Game 2,
Bro,
Wales got ahead and
that was a good game, bro. That's a fun in-between game, bro.
Is be behind at 14 minutes and you're likely to win the game.
Follow the pattern, huh, Medic? Follow the numbers.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll have to see if it works out.
Data doesn't lie. Honestly, though, so much on this game. Of course, your entire year culminating here in a single game. So much pressure from both of these teams right now. Elimination either way. one of these teams is going home. One will get to continue.
Imagine like KOI fans, like I don't know, it's like this. It's like make it clear that you're delusional. Defend KOI's performance against Team Secret Wales, bro. Come on now.
This is kind of where they were hoping to show their.
I don't know. Can I hold? I need to hold like the long sticks.
Their tournament thus far at 2020 Worlds 2025, and now coming into the picks and bans. Already we're seeing target bans towards Jojo after a great performance in game number 2.
Importantly, Hero is in for Team Secret Wales, replacing Pun, much more of a carry player from the top lane. Is Hero.
Hold the shift. Oh, okay.
The Rumble, the Jace. Rumble already banned away by MKOI. We'll see with the
I can't believe my pick 'em is so trash, bro. My pick 'em is so trash.
On the blue side for this deciding game.
And we're getting really down there as far as the jungle champs as well. We know we've got Pantheon, Vi, Nocturne, all still available. With the Annie band, you're even going down to the tier of like Ari in mid lane.
Our pick'em. The pick'em is not perfect.
These types of champions
G2 went out on 3-1 somehow.
do benefit from one of those bursty AD junglers.
Better G2 made it through than Flag was made it through. Because Flag was not making it through is good for my pick'em.
You know, the Vietnam Nocturne. Nocturne is one of the most.
C is to hold, shift to C, okay.
And always does have that extra
Wait,
little bit.
Hey, Big Pun is subbed out.
Especially if you start to see MKOI going towards this more dive-orientated composition, like things like the Vi coming through for Elyoya in that jungle, having that disruption. If you've got a Kaisa that's trying to follow up, or activities for Jojo Pyun that he wants to get involved in, it can make things a little bit more difficult.
Bro's asking for $5 crypto, bro. That's crazy.
One of the last few remaining engaged champions, Leona and Nautilus, the two that remain.
Yeah, I mean, since Rakan, Alistar, and Braum are all out from Fearless, I do actually like it, investing in that really early to get that big AoE engage. And so pick up
that guy looked amused there on the left.
To pair with Aurora.
Alright, got Midwin Crossante.
I don't think he counts as the traditional AD.
Nah, bro, I'm still in shock about.
Are going to move more towards that engage with the Vi. I love the Rel first pick or early pick here by MKOI, just because when Alvaro is on something he is comfortable with, where he can initiate, MKOI thrive, and that is exactly what they're giving him.
There is also the opportunity to swap this Aurora to the top lane. Hero has played one game of it in the past and does do relatively well into the Cassante, can look to bully it out in the early stages and still open up for Dire to have a good counter matchup if you decide to go for it. But there's that Vi Kaisa that we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The dive comp here, and Kaisa, one of Eddie's specialties. With the Vi Aurora, it's straightforward. You're looking at dive. So MKOI, what kind of counter to dive can you draft? Lissandra certainly is one piece.
Has she been found? No. But I
that's
love
the whole story, man.
Yeah. My mistake. I do like the Lissandra for Jojo. We have seen him bring it out already in the LEC, but instead the Xayah to avoid some of that engage. Makes sense. Don't want to leave it to get banned in the next round.
I think they have a good draft.
Looking for the safety there.
They have a good draft so far.
I feel like that we have historically in competitive League of Legends, the Kaisa versus the Xayah.
And now I believe you're just going to ban away anything that's good for into the Cassante for MKOI. Things like that Gwen can still be shifted, unless you are just assuming that Aurora is going to be moved up into that top side of the map. Could even look to ban away things like
Yorick Mori, okay.
the Nautilus or the Leona if you really want. But yeah, I think just top lane matchup's going to be a good call. Make sure.
Alright, MKOI is in a good spot so far, draft-wise.
Had fantastic performances on this Cassante when he's able to get going and have a good matchup. And I think that's what MKOI will be relying on once more.
Yeah, some exciting low health 2v1 opportunities maybe in his future. Meanwhile, as you say, expecting to continue to chop down on Jojo's champ pool here. Okay, the Victor is the one of choice as mid lane is really getting down there.
Bard banned away from Taki by MKOI. I'm looking like we've got jungle and mid left for MKOI, and you are really beginning to pinch that pool quite a lot. The Victor banned away, the Vex banned away. MKOI likely to pick their mid laner here, expecting that Aurora to go mid. You could, of course, go for jungle Neferi, an option, and it will be locked in for Elyoya. Once the weight of the game on his shoulders to a degree. We saw it in the Kiana game, we now see it with the Neferi. Need to get ahead in the early game, need to get the ball rolling. And it did work for MKOI when they started to get towards those team fights.
Also just another one that has that invulnerability, keep himself safe from being a potential dive pick from this buy and this Kai'Sa. But as you say, you need to be that damage threat and fight. You need to get the ball rolling.
I can't believe MKOI just banned Bard. They banned Bard when the enemy has Kai'Sa instead of Nautilus.
Exactly. I always love it into the Vi because
That's
of
crazy.
the W for Nefiri. And there you go, Medic. You were talking about the Jace early on. We do get the Jace coming through as well for their
Jace
side.
Aurora double flex.
A little at odds with the rest of the composition though, because I traditionally would look more towards, hey, we want Poke and Ezreal and these.
Which is probably going top.
Whereas when I'm looking at teams,
knowing their players.
it is much more dive. So I'm curious if it is just a case of, hey, get some early gold in towards Hero, leave him as a split pusher that we don't really want to get involved in fights, and play through a strong 4v4, where it's Cassante struggling to answer for the Jace on the side.
Leona locked in for Team Secret Wales to round out their comp, gives them a bit of a long-range engage, which they'll definitely enjoy. The ability to get, you know, Nefiri's invulnerabilities out, that core of the pack, she has to eviscerate away, and a hover of the LeBlanc, but it's going to be
Ari,
for Jojo, and something
I think Ari can get some value this game. The enemy is very squishy.
The ult buff on the patch as well, we're maybe thinking of seeing a little bit more of it, but as
It is a
we get
losing
into
match
the
with Aurora Dopa.
matches,
He's just a better
really
player.
get to it, and now you're going to be able to see
I feel like MKOI should win.
one of the champions that he
I think MKOI should win.
And also just so incredibly strong in enabling these
MKOI
guys
should win.
towards the mid lane, trying to shut down the Aurora in the early stages and get Elyoya rolling. And this has kind of been the story of, hey, Alvaro working with Elyoya, playing towards that mid lane for so long in the LEC. Now they have to see if they can do it against Team Secret Wales, but Histo has been fantastic in working with Taki in their own right, in being able to play towards Dire, shut down any aggression in that game. We've even saw it in the start of game number 1, or sorry, over the course of the series in game 2, and now we just have to see if they can find that success here again.
Here we are, do or die for Team Secret Wales and for MKOI. Elimination or elation as the coaches bump fists and take themselves off the stage. It's all down to those 10 players loading into Summoner's Rift to see who goes through to 2 and 2.
I think MKOI have the better draft, guys.
And who takes the flight home. For MKOI, it's all about vengeance. 3 times in a row they have lost to an LCP team.
I think that it's hard to focus down one target with blue side. I think it's a very hard Vi game, honestly. Very hard Vi game. I think Histo needs to play something that can carry.
And looking to prove that that LCP is not just the Flying Oysters.
And MKOI also said on Euphoria that they wanted to play against CFO, they wanted to right some of the wrongs from MSI, but the fact that here against Team Secret Wales, they may not even get past the finish line, I think would be incredibly disappointing for the fans, for the organization, for the players. And now they have to see if they can find that moment in Game 3 to bring them just one more day along.
Breaking some of the tension here with some friendly emo game.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. And the elimination game for each of them, still feeling very good.
I feel like there's an initiation ceremony for top laners that no one else knows about, where they go in, it's like, okay, this is where you go, and this is how much you can emote, and at this exact time you have to leave, and that's the rules, okay?
Unless you're Broken Blade against Mirwin, where you use that and then...
Can Jace be a problem in this game? Yeah. Like Jace isn't too bad of a state to become a problem that he was in the past, you know? But like being an enforcer poke-wise, I think there's a chance he's a problem, because like Cassante set up ganks on Nefiri with 3 Q stacks and into flash WQ. I think that you can set up kills on this champion. I just think Jace is too weak of a champ. So I don't think Jace would be a problem.
We'll see if that ends up being a deciding factor. Junglers starting on opposite sides here, so we do have Histo pathing towards his Jace lane, towards his pushing top lane. Isolated matchup up there.
This is like Dire's favorite champ. Sorry guys, I forgot to run ads on Twitch.
As is so frequent for MKOI, they really do need their bottom
Bullet
lane
situations.
to be in good condition.
And I think it makes sense, as you say, like Histo wants to be able to get up, get some deep vision in that top side, and just enable this Jace to play through the strength of the lane. I don't really think we'll see much in the way of dives, but just in allowing Hero to play as aggressive.
I think this looks fair.
Is all you really want in that top lane.
Yeah, and for the MKOI side, of course, Elyoya wants, Supo wants this Xayah to be multiple items here, to be able to really carry this game. So far this series, it has not been the best for Supa, and they really are going to need him to do some work in this game, this final deciding one. Of course, Elyoya is on a champion. He can output some very respectable damage himself. we'll see if he can carry some of that damage too.
I think often dependent on the build. Sorry, for Elioya. For Jojo. I thought you said Jojo instead of Elioya. So I was going to say it's depending on the build for the Ahri, how much damage he puts out, because sometimes you see those slightly tankier Ahri builds, but Elioya, as you say, will definitely put out quite a bit of DPS on that Neferi if he's able to get onto this backline, because there's always the risk. You jump in with a Hound's Pursuit, immediately you get stunned up with a Shudder Daybreak, you have Cease and Desist, you have Solar Flare to follow up, and you just don't get an opportunity to move as you dive in towards that backline. Hero with a slight lead over Mirwin on the top side, as to be expected in the ranged into melee matchup, using that ranged form to get the grasp stacks off. And Histo and Elioya on opposite sides of the map should both just take their own scuttlecraft.
Mirren does have to be careful about how aggressive he trades here, because there is a jungler on the top side of the map, and that wave will crash, and I think this is the signal for Histo to go.
But Mirren going in, look for the 1v1, and Topos goes in with a Pathmaker.
Oh, wow. Medwin, this is your champ. Ooh. He still had flash. I thought there was room to game, bro. I thought there's room to game.
I hate junglers.
I thought there's room to game.
Solo kill first though before the arrival of the jungler. In the end, of course, the extra assist on the kill does mean the extra 50% gold for the
Still very good. Chase conditions are pretty weak. Chain vest buy. It's a very big buy.
And the fact that you managed to get the early chain vest is so nice, because
this is like Jace needs to gain traction level 1, 2, 5. But I think Jace is just gonna solo lose the game, guys.
Yeah, to the minion that had gone forward, and then uses that W to make sure they can get the auto attack. And the flip comes through, but Mirwin, he already got the job done. Really nicely played.
I actually really like using the Pathmaker instead of the Q3 there. It feels like the anticipation from Hero is I will look for the Q3 animation and then flash. But as soon as Pathmaker comes out, it's much more tricky to dodge away. As Dyer hits the weirding onto Jojo, but the way he pushed in, Jojo should just be able to get a recall off. Has gone for an early Ruby Crystal. We'll see where that build ends up going on the Ahri, and Hero still winning out the trades on top side.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he'd try and go for the early Bramble Vest, to be honest, just because it is nice into some of these matchups where at least you're able to trade back effectively when you are getting auto attack down, some damage is going back. But the early Chain Vest is still incredibly nice. Again, you scale so well with resistances on Cassante, plus the fact you're just not going to get hit for as much is going to be nice, although Mirren is struggling a little bit as he gets back to late.
Yeah, we'll see once again, because both junglers, again, re-clearing to opposite sides of the map, so the pressure is always going to remain. Jace just teleports right back up there, and now after the deaths, kind of shrugs it off, gets back to pushing, back to harassing you. Meanwhile, is going to be traded for the pressure on the other
Very
side.
soft game.
Had to use the smite
Ruby Crystals in mid lane. Jojo is just doing fantastic lane-wise. He's so much better. So much better lane-wise. Even in the game 1 that they lost through, I thought plain and simple, they like the game was 3-0 at the beginning. They outlaned the shit out of them, you know.
It's a nice play from Histo, even if he doesn't get the kill, as you say, just putting that pressure down, keeping Hero safe.
Good in Chain Vest, so OP, bro. I don't know what they believed in.
The dive in with the Zenith Blade Caller coming out from Super to get the route onto Eddie. Heal was used by Taki in exchange for the cleanse from Super. Taki still looking for a little bit more here as he goes forward with the Oracle, just forcing Super and Alvaro away. Meanwhile on the top side, Dyer looking for the dive. Another Zenith Blade.
Alright, Elioyito, nice kill from Alvaro.
Flashing away, cleanse flash out by Taki with a dive in with the Abyss Ray. Meanwhile on the top side, Histo and Dyer look for more. Taki low gets away, no! Elioya gets him in the end, Super just surviving.
So close.
Mirwin down to 300 HP.
Pretty bad now for Midwin. He's got flash.
Mirwin looking for that all out. Pops the Pathmaker into the Vault Breaker. Hero flashes in. Will tank
I don't know, did they have mana? Oh, no way. Unlucky. Unlucky, bro.
Means that Team Secret Wales get out with a kill and not giving up any gold to Mirwin.
Yeah, no, joking right there. And in the end, it is answered on the other side. This is the kind of fun that you get when you have opposite side jungle paths. We did have Jojo stay mid though, so the Ahri passively wins out by staying mid and pushing. His tempo was a little bit messed up there with the interrupt on the recall, but he did get the guaranteed push of the extra minion wave of the tower plate in mid 2.
But that's why I was kind of surprised to see Eddie and Taki go for the fight on bot side. They were going for the dive on top, knew they were on the weak side, but still wanted to take the trade. And then as a result, they end up giving that kill across. So it could have been a bigger win for Team Secret Wales if the bot lane had just kind of played it passively.
Yeah, Supa barely living too there on the edge.
Mirwin going all out. Hero doesn't have flash, and Mirwin's just going to chase him.
It's so cooked. Mirwin Kesante.
Missing towards that top side. Mirwin very happy in this
Complete GG.
Yeah, Merwin says, welcome to the series, Hero. Puts him down again on the Kesante.
The Mirwin Crossante.
And that is going to be
Double chambers, baby.
Repercussions because there's no...
Will we get another voice of Mara after you did the Mbappé Smith interview? I have one with Roma planned. And I also talked with...
He consistently seems to be able to find these moments where he can find the solo kill, get massive tempo leads for himself, and open up windows crucially for MKOI to find success in side lanes, even after he's just gone down. And now Histo, happy that he's able to pick up at least two of those point drops.
Takes 2 of the grubs, could have taken 3, but decides to leave the third one as Elioyat to try and steal away as much of this jungle as possible. There is a red buff if he can get any deeper, but Histo comes across. And with that last scrub being left up, I wonder if that's maybe just a strategic play.
I think it was just to try and protect his bot side jungle and make sure that it wasn't going to be completely stolen away by Elioya.
Yeah, 100%, because Dyer saw Elioya, and so they had vision on him, and Dyer was trying to keep him there, but Nefiri is pretty slippery, so Elioya is able to get out.
Now Histo pathing up towards the top side, looking for the fight against Supa and Alvaro. Taki has been chucking out those Zenith Blades on repeat. Shattering Strike, Solar Flare. Featherstorm still available for Supa, doesn't use it yet. Histo still looking for that dive. Alvaro down to about 2/3 HP, and as soon as the ward comes across the wall, Histo backs away.
Supa not really budging there at all. Doesn't use the Featherstorm, the flash either to get away. Knows that it's only going to be the slow that hits, and that was the reason they didn't go for it, but now bot lane.
Hero stepping forward, doesn't have the flash. Elioya's on the chase. Darking Daggers don't connect, and he doesn't want to go in with that Hound's pursuit.
Yeah, wave is still in a terrible spot for Hero. Looks like Kasante is just going to delete the wave anyways, though, as Histo will now return to finish the work that he started earlier.
Nice interrupt there from Alvaro on to the reset from the Kaisa. Actually interrupts it again, so Eddie going to be very late.
I got cancelled 8 times.
Dragon in 55 seconds, and I think that should give that push now on the bot lane to
It's very smooth to itemize Kesante here because enemy is so AD heavy. Enemy top jungle is also AD heavy, Vi will never touch him. The only chance was that dive.
Red buff still available for Histo, who has been stealing away as much of Elioya's jungle as possible. You can actually see